Keep counting the days, right? I mean, 35 days to the start of the season. We are now 16 days to college football. We're almost inside of 2 weeks for the start of college football, which is incredible. And I can't wait to see what this year brings for the college game. And no question, the National Football League is going to be just a crazy reality show. By the way, before we get going here, I want to show you something. I want to give you some context of a story that was told to me back in 1989 when Jerry Jones first bought the Dallas Cowboys. How about this? So in 1989, when Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys, he bought the team for $154 million. And everybody, including the current president, said it would be the stupidest deal in the history of professional sports. And Jerry put every single bit of money he had. He hit on this big time well in West Texas, like back in 88. And that money that he made off that 100 barrels bought the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the reason they fired everybody was because they couldn't make payroll because he didn't have all the money that he needed to pay the employees that were there in the building almost 30 years. Well, Spartaco came out with the valued teams, the top 10 teams. The Cowboys are now worth $15.5 billion. But take a look at the NFL. Rams are worth 12.7. The Giants are worth 12.1. The Patriots, 10.4. The Jets, 10.3. There's your Eagles at 10.3. The Dolphins, 10.2. The Niners, 10.2 billion. The Raiders, now because they've moved to Vegas, 10.1. The Atlanta Falcons, 9.7. Listen to this one-year value change. The Cowboys went up 21%. The Eagles went up 22% in value. Man, owning an NFL team is the greatest investment in all of American sports right now. You get almost a 25% investment each and every single year with your initial investment. What did Lori buy the team for? Like $194 million? This guy's football team right now is worth $10.3 billion. And he bought the team for $194 million. Talk about, man, unbelievable investments. Incredible. Just absolutely incredible. $15.5 billion. Jerry bought the team for $154 million. The money that Jalen Carter just got on a 4-year deal, which was more, Jerry Jones spent $154 million to own the Dallas Cowboys back in 1989. Just an incredible investment. And it goes up 25% every year. And if you happen to get a new stadium, I mean, the numbers go over the top. Dude, this just shows you why the NFL is king. People want the NFL. People pay for the NFL. People like the programming. They like the storyline. Television networks would be dying if they didn't have the NFL in the fall. Think about that. If you did not have the NFL on one of your mainstream networks, that would end it. Like if Fox didn't have the NFL, Fox would close up. ABC, CBS. I can't remember the last time I watched lamestream television, and I call it lamestream, for any particular TV show. I watch it for live sports. Other than that, I don't watch it. Crazy. Just absolutely crazy in where you are right now when it comes to the National Football League. Really is. Hit the like button. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you guys so much again. Super chats go to the top, as we say. The Eagles had a day off today. Then we're going to start seeing preseason ball Tomorrow, Friday, Eagles play on Saturday against those Ravens, and you're starting to really understand a little bit now. I'm going to go over a little bit of what Landon Dickerson said yesterday as well. But as we're now through camp, we probably got about 7 of these things left. Okay? You probably have about 7 of these things left when you're talking about training camp here. Good afternoon, Suave. Appreciate you always starting the program off with that. Kyle, thank you, my friend. Sills, the reason Notre Dame gets the same schedule every year, they are the Cowboys of the NCAA, overrated. You want to hear something about Notre Dame? Notre Dame this year is going to play 8 teams on their current schedule that had 8 losses. How do they get a hall pass to the college football playoff? 8 teams on their 2025 schedule lost 8 ball games. And they get a free pass to the college football playoff. Based on what? That shitty schedule of theirs? They don't play anybody. They play 2 teams. And get this, 8 teams. 8 that are currently on the Notre Dame roster of games to play. Lost 8 ball games last year. Folks, they only play 12. You're telling me you only play a handful of games with teams over 500? Okay. Yeah. Good old Notre Dame, baby. Most overrated college football program in the country. Didn't Florida State have the same schedule a few years ago? Yeah, they're in a conference. Notre Dame's not. They get to handpick their schedule. Okay? They get to handpick their schedule. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit that like button. We're going to get into the topics here in a sec. So let's start it. I was listening to Birds 365 this morning. By the way, Battle Royale at 4:30. Big Z will join us at 3:30. So let's start with the superstar of camp, Darius Cooper, and what he's done. Okay, so let's go here. Should Darius Cooper be in the starting lineup against the Washington Commanders? What do you think? It would be Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and Darius Cooper. Be your 3 wideouts. I'll read those names off again. Devontae Smith, Darius Cooper, and Dontavian Wicks. Those 3 guys, should they be your starters versus the Commanders? Yes or no? He should be, but he won't. Lemon is the first-round pick. So, Flex says yes. Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and Darius Cooper in week 1. That's your starting wideouts. Sills, how many of those Cowboys, $15 billion for a team that hasn't sniffed a Super Bowl in 30 years? I think that tells you the power of the star. Cowboys haven't done shit in 30 years, and they're the most expensive franchise on the planet. I don't know. You tell me, Andres. Yes. I'd like to see Cooper in preseason first, though. All right, I like that one, Rasputin. Okay. Sills, need your thoughts how he painted a rosy picture with Gennard signing. Is he a $100 million bust? Dude, it's August 12th. Not going there yet. He's not Bryce Huff yet. I don't think he's anywhere near it. Lemon won't be ready by week 1. What? He might get snaps, but Howie will want Lemon mixed in more. and ultimately Lemon 100%. So wait a minute. I'm asking you a simple question. Since your boy's been a big star in camp, should he start week 1? Yes or no? Should that guy be the opening day starter? Yes or no? Very simple. Nothing crazy here. Should that guy be the guy that gets what he's basically been doing in camp right now? Do you think this guy should be your starter in week 1? Yes or no? Let's see if you can answer this simple question. No. Okay. Well, wait. RC depends on what? Get this. I'm spinning something. Should Darius Cooper start week 1? Is a spin? It's a simple question, guy. We aren't going to put dudes out there if they aren't ready. It's not black and white like you want it to be. It's a BS-loaded question. The first-round pick, who was the 17th overall pick, and you're telling me, why, you put Cooper DeJean out there once he was ready? Once Cooper DeJean was ready, you put him in the game. Why can't you do Makai Lemon? It's a simple question. Look at this. Because you guys can't answer simple questions, it's you with the spin. Sills can't spin. He's in a wheelchair. Listen, this is the simplest question I've ever asked. And you people can't answer it. If the guy's starring so well and doing so well with really a bunch of dudes, and he's performing and outperforming these nobodies, should he start? Yes or no? Flexin, you answered it. You did. The majority, the people answered. Okay. You're right. It's just a couple stupid people like this. You're right. As always. Okay? Fake Eagle fans in here can't answer it, Sills. That's right, they can't. I like Wayne. Depends on it. Lemmy comes back very soon as shows his skills. If he looks good, gets a lot of reps, then yes, he's wide receiver 3. If not, it's Cooper. All right, Wayne. Let's go with that. Wayne, what would it say if Makai Lemon gets back, and according to John, it looks like he's close, and we're still about 4 weeks out from the opener against the Commanders. If Darius Cooper beats out Makai Lemon, what message does that send? That a UDFA beat the 17th player drafted in this past April's draft. A guy anybody could have had in Darius Cooper beat him out in a very unimpressive wide receiver room. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. By the way, I'm not indicting his career. I'm indicting again the beginning of his career. It will not happen. Prince, I think you're right. Because it would be an indictment that an undrafted free agent in a very unimpressive wide receiver room beat out the 17th pick in the draft, even with limited reps. It's not like you're going against A.J. Brown for the 3rd wide receiver. Very unimpressive people are in that wideout room. And again, you're not talking about a deep room of great players. You're talking about dudes. You're not talking about beating out Devontae or A.J. Brown. You can't beat out Elijah Moore? And you're the first round pick for the Birds? What message would that send? Sills, I love it. Lemons could have showed up to camp out of shape. That's the only reason that makes sense to me. And if that's the case, sit his ass on the bench. Cooper starts. Get this. New system, not everyone needs to be a star. Bro, you don't have anybody over there except Devontae Smith. Stop acting like... I like how people dress up pigs and make them think that they're horses. We saw him last year in preseason. He was so good. He didn't get anything but starting reps. Okay? But wait a second. Didn't we all shit on how bad this draft was after 15? I'm not willing to give up on Lemon yet. Now, not giving up on Lemon, dude. I'm asking you, what message would that send if Darius Cooper is the starting wide receiver and Lemon is healthy in the third wide receiver spot? Man, they were counting on that guy to be the number 2. I like how everyone's dancing around this now. Oh, well, Dontavian Wicks has won the second wide receiver spot because Lemon's not been out there. Okay. But now the third one too? You didn't use the third one. You have it in 5 years. Now all of a sudden, the third wide receiver is a big role? Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's the new offense, right? Okay. He's a rookie. Bro, you're not beating out established players here. You're beating out journeymen. Get this. Spinning shit with Lemon. If the guy doesn't start in week 1 with an unimpressive wide receiver room and a UDFA beats him out for the third role, that's spin or reality? Bro, some of you, and not all of you, Eagle fans, are just not very smart when it comes to looking at your football team and understanding the politics of it. Like, you guys play with G.I. Joes. Sills, Cooper is on the same path as Zach Bond. Sometimes it takes time to become an NFL maturity. Dude, the 17th pick in the draft, Zach Bond was a third rounder. I get growing third rounders. Third rounder, 17th pick. You're talking about starting week 1 and the kid is hurt. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. I just said, once again, you got 4 weeks. If the kid is able to go, do you still start him week 1? Or do you put Darius Cooper in? This is the simplest question I could possibly ask you. It can't be any simple. Here, I'll do it one last time. Because Darius Cooper has been so impressive and Moore has missed so much time, John says he's close to coming back. In 4 weeks, who do you start? Cooper, Lemon at the 3. Who do you start? Just answer it. "3 days until greatness" of Josh Allen, Steve Young, disciple, the second coming of the greatest show on turf. It's the final showdown. So isn't that the case? The receiver room is weak, so isn't the job up for grabs? The only reason Cooper could take it is only if the kid is available. Daff. Everyone is saying how great he's been playing in camp. Who do you feel, and who does Jalen feel comfortable with at wide receiver? I'll let you answer. Who would be the 3 wide receivers that Jalen Hurts, in your opinion, would want on opening day? Who would that 3 be? Give me the 3. On who, and name the 3 receivers that Jalen Hurts would want to have starting week 1. Simple question. Smitty, Wicks, and Cooper. Okay? I think you're right. Smitty, Wicks, and Cooper. How many people believe that in here? That Jalen would be good with that going into that game. Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and Darius Cooper. Right? Okay. That's your starting wideouts. What kind of message now does that send? That if Lemon is healthy, he's a role player. If Darius Cooper ends up to be a player, how much credit does the former wide receiver coach, Nick Sirianni, get for development? Nick will have coached Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Ty Hilton, AJ, Smitty, and Cooper. Every single one of those wide receivers. I think Ty Hilton. I don't remember where he coached T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton wasn't at Indianapolis. I don't believe when he was there. I could be wrong, but I don't remember T.Y. Hilton being there when he was at Indianapolis. I thought that was under a different regime. Yeah, I don't know if T.Y. was there. He may have been. You guys are saying he may have been. Okay. But T.Y. was there before Nick Sirianni got there. Okay. Well, he was there before Sirianni showed up. He was there back in the day. I think when even Bruce Arians was there. Sills, I get the Lemon take, but this is more on Hurts. He has to show he can elevate unproven talent. Okay. Yeah. I mean, one pick a day from the top 3 corner in the league is nothing to worry about. Watch the video, bro. He was standing there waiting for the ball instead of attacking it. Are you guys talking about that pick that Q had on Hurts today in practice? I saw that. He jumped the route. Hurts didn't look it off, and he jumped the route. That's why he got the pick. Stills, Laurie values his wallet, even though a billionaire Lemon starts, period. If healthy, Cooper season, add plus. Yeah, Prince, he just jumped the route. I saw the video. He jumped it. Hurts stared it down, and Q jumped the route. Pretty basic interception. Wasn't crazy. And, by the way, whoever that receiver was didn't fight for it either to go after it. At least break the play up, kid. Guys just let the guy jump underneath and not try to make a play on the player. Now, they might be told not to go to the ground. So there's a part of me that says, I'm not there, so I don't know if that's part of the issue at the players are told not to go to the ground. So you got to kind of concern yourself with that a little bit. And you want to play above the knees. Coaches are probably saying that. So play above the knees, not get anybody on the ground. So, it's easier to jump a route like that because the guy defending, the receiver, can't make a play on the guy getting the INT on cue. So you just got to know how practice protocol goes. That's my point, Sills. He was waiting for the ball to come to him. Yeah. So he jumped the route. Hurts looked it down. It was a terrible play by the quarterback. Quarterback looked him right down. Wasn't progression reading. Turned, look, threw. Q jumped the route. He was waiting there like it was a fair catch. Sills, you want to hear something crazy? The Hurts pick has 2.4 million views. Josh Allen pick from the same day is at 94,000. What does that tell you? More eyeballs are on Hurts and what he's going to do with the 2026 season. Oh, the sky is falling. Hurts looks close to 22 out there throwing to nobodies versus a top defense. I'm happy for now, okay? No problem. He looks closer to 22. Really? Based on what? How could he look closer to 22 when they're not doing anything like 22? Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Sills, is Jerome Brown the most talented lineman in Hurricane history? Yes. Brown, Sapp, Kennedy. Probably Woolfolk. You could put them in that order. Sills, the ability to work the middle requires a quarterback believes what he sees in strong anticipation. Hurts hasn't developed those skills. I love they are working on the middle, but it will take time. We'll see. All the stuff that they're doing in practice, I think it's great they're going against Vic's defense. And that'll help him as he gets into the start of the season with things that they're going to ask him to do. Absolutely. Love you, Sills. Greatest Eagles channel on YouTube. We thank you so much for saying that. Out of all plays, why did they post that pick? That's for Q. Because Vic had ripped him in a presser a day earlier. Sills, nothing you have seen or heard so far has changed your mind from 8 wins. 0. Actually, I'm more cemented on it. Seals, how about the Cowboys $15 billion for a team that hasn't sniffed a Super Bowl in 30 years? Like I said, I think you answer your own question. How about a football team that's the richest sports team in the world? They haven't won a championship in 30 years. And they're still the number one franchise on the planet. I don't know. I think you answer your own question. It shows Hurts will not be a new guy. He will still hold the ball. He still needs a top 10 running game to be successful. Yeah, all these things that they're doing, I don't care what you say. You're not changing who he is. You can talk about it all you want. That guy's not going to change who he is. We're 7 years into his career. Not changing. Quarterbacks don't change fundamental skill sets 7 years into their football career. It's not happening. Cowboys are the worst organization in the last 30 years. They're the epitome of dog shit. Worse than the Jets. They deserve no benefit of the doubt. You say you hate potential, yet you like the Cowboys. I told you I think the Cowboys have improved their roster. And I also told you I think they have to go out and play and prove it. Did you not hear that? Or do you only hear I said they improved their roster? Which means that you only listen to 2% of what I say, which is common. Sports talk listeners listen to 2% of what somebody answers. And so, to your point, they've been the worst organization in 30 years? Well, then how are they the richest in the world? We haven't seen Cooper play in an actual game, but if he excels in this system, it's a good thing and allows Lemon to develop. Dude, if a UDFA has more playing time this year than Makai Lemon, that's a horrific first year for Lemon. It's a horrific first year. Now, I don't, on August 12th, going to go down there. We're far away from that. We're far away, dude. Sills has been very consistent with his assessment of the Cowboys. Yeah, you got to prove it. The Cowboys have improved their roster since they got rid of Micah Parsons. At all three levels of their defense. They added George Pickens. They're a better football team. Now, they got to go prove it. Get this. Here's Prince telling you to do something that no one has seen in 5 years. Sit back and watch the show. When it comes to a passing game, we've been sitting for 5 years. Already calling for his downfall before seeing an actual game. Again, this is made up. This is made up. He's calling for nobody's downfall. So I think what it says, if Cooper starts over Lemon, means he is simply ready to go, even though Lemon is a high draft pick. It may not be ideal. It's just reality and circumstances. I guarantee you, every single rookie wide receiver that was drafted in the first round will have a better year than Makai Lemon. You want to put money on that? Barring an injury, you want to put that every wide receiver will be more successful than Lemon this coming year. If this guy's not ready to go in the first half of the season, you want to put money on it? And especially if Darius Cooper beats him out. Got to get on the field, guy. Seals all the coordinators Hurts has had since college. All the way, Sayers, he has overcome. This year will be a tough test. I think his dad is pivotal force in his career. Okay? Let's say you're right, Lemon. I never said Lemon's a bust. I said he's going to struggle in 26, and so far, it's been a tough start. No, listen, no, I'm going to put a disclaimer down here every time I freaking say something so that you don't get butthurt, all of you. I'm talking about August 12th and 35 days from now. And in the first part of the season. And if you guys don't like the way you're being spoken to, stand in line where Vic talks to people. Did you hear Vic the other day saying that how he talked to a player and told a player that he couldn't tell the media or any of you? You think Vic Fangio doesn't get in people's faces and speak his mind and tell the player who he is and who he's not? You're not getting it done, kid. Or you are, kid. Or you're getting it done. Good job. That was horrible. 99% of the people on the planet can't be coached because you don't understand where they're coming from. It's like you guys have to be like, there's like some sort of like, you've got to compromise your integrity a little bit to make you guys feel better about your own lives. Sills, I agree. It would be horrific for Lemon. That said, it would be a huge win for Howie finding another gem in the UDFA market. Hey, whoa. I didn't say anything about Howie here. I said about Lemon. Because if Darius Cooper goes on to become a star, that covers for Lemon if he blows. And if Lemon turns out to be a good player, okay, then you get two guys. Absolutely. That second-year UDFA is having a better camp than every receiver not named Smitty, but it's horrific if he starts over an injured rookie who hasn't practiced. He answered his own deal there. Get this. So if that guy doesn't play at the beginning of the season for the Eagles, and the guy's been hurt since he's been here, do better? You're going to start the season with Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and Darius Cooper. A guy nobody wanted to draft, and another guy who couldn't make the Packers. And then Devontae Smith. That's your wide receiving core. All right, guy. Do better. And if that guy can't get... Hey, let me go back to this guy again. That's why Nakobe Dean's not on your ball team anymore. Because you know why? They went out and drafted somebody and said, we're going to be more relied on him. Nakobe Dean's not on your football team for exactly what Jay Brown just said. Hey, Nakobe was a good player. And Nakobe's not on your football team. Why? Because he can't get on the field. Lemon, honestly, until he plays in a couple of games, this is all a guessing game. So you're going to go into you're going to go into a start of your season guessing on your wideouts. Nakobe isn't here because of injury issues. And Lemon is not playing right now because of injury issues. Is he not? Best available is durability. This show's great. I love all the takes from fans like Prince, Kyle, Bob, etc. You guys make my afternoons. Reyes takes. Thank you, guys. Absolutely. I love them all too. All difference. This is a freaking awesome question. Seals, what would Belichick do? He'd start Darius Cooper. That's what he would do. But he doesn't have to answer to a GM when he was the head coach of the Patriots. He didn't have to answer to anybody. Nick does. You're damn right. There lies the difference. Belichick would start Cooper. Brady would want Cooper. Show me anywhere in Hurts' career where he failed or had a losing season. People love to mention he was benched. The team was winning. He came back to help them win the national title. My friends, the Alabama Crimson Tide did not get worse when they put Tagovailoa in. As a matter of fact, they didn't miss a beat. Wasn't like they dropped in value. And I got to hand it to Jalen. Every single place that he's gone, no question, have all been winning. Prince is making it sound like he went to Rutgers. This guy went to Bama, Oklahoma, and the Eagles. Well, how many losing seasons in the last 20 years have those people had? One combined. Did you just say Brady wouldn't want Cooper, or am I tripping? Yeah, you are tripping. I said Brady would want Cooper. What would Paterno have done with Jalen Hurts? I think he would have played him. Let's not kid ourselves. The Patricia D year, I'd not consider that a winning team. Well, you should. They won 11 ball games that year. You should. My problem right now that you're having with all of this is Zander made a great point today on Birds 365. And get this, you have to tiptoe around some of these guys who covered the team. If Makai Lemon is not playing or a factor on your football team in the first half of the season, going into a new offensive game plan, and you lost A.J. Brown, that's a severe issue that you were counting on that guy to deliver some of the water and deliver some of the drop-off, not having A.J. I don't care how you want to paint this. Isn't it wild listening to Philly media people have to dance around this without being straight to the point? If that guy doesn't play in the first half of the season and doesn't help elevate the passing game, why'd you take him in the 17th pick? You drafted a wide receiver this year because you knew you were moving off AJ. So you just said, hey, this is going to be a redshirt year for him? Moving off of A.J. Brown? Hey, we don't have to worry about it. We'll just hire some of these guys that all these other teams didn't want. That's what you're saying? Make that make sense. I can't stand listening to shows that say, well, I'm not worried about the kid at all. Nobody's talking about his career. I'm talking about 26. Who's talking about 27 and 28 here? Nobody. This guy may turn out to be in 27 a star player. I don't know. Right now, they need that guy. Sills, you should read Kemsky. He just did his votes of bust and winners. Lemon, clear leader in one. Well, it's because of availability, though. It's unfair a little bit in talent. Now, and every time he's been out there, he's been unimpressive. Not even reading this. Useless. Lemon was a high prospect that could have made the following round. And we are stacking weapons for Hurts in the new scheme. That's another great question. Hey, Reyes, throw me what your pass weapons are again. I want to see what you think your pass weapons are. He's calling stacking weapons. Name these names that you're stacking weapons around Hurts. I don't see it. Who do you think is a stacked weapon in the passing game? Who's the stacked weapons in the new scheme? Give me some names. Stacked weapons. That's stacked weapons? No. I want pass in your pass game. Barkley will be limited in your pass game. No. Give me your pass game weapons. Lemon, Stowers, Hollywood, and Wicks are all new players that project high. More than our wide receiver 3 down from years. Stowers, Hollywood, Wicks, and Lemon are stacked weapons. All you have to say. Well, let's see what Saquon has done since he's been a Philadelphia Eagle. And I guess you're going to project he's going to have 50 catches. So let's see here. Saquon. What has Saquon done as a receiver in 2 years in Philly? Let's take a look at that. Receiving. So he's had 30 catches and 37 catches. Okay. Let's do this too. So 30 catches, 35 catches. Here's your weapons. Barkley, Goddard, and Stowers is your weapons. Stowers has stunk in camp. Barkley, okay, and Goddard. Okay, so Goddard and Barkley. Seals, get this. Saquon's old scheme numbers don't apply to this new approach. Well, let's do this. Let's take a look at Josh Jacobs because you're running Green Bay's offense. Josh Jacobs. Let's take a look here. So, pretty much the same. 36. That's probably going to be around right. You're running the Green Bay offense. Those numbers for Barkley are not going up. He's going to have about 35 catches, and that's where he's going to be. You're running the Green Bay offense. Forget that. The real question is if Hurts can help Wicks, Smitty become players. And if Lemon Cooper will also turn out to be players. Who gets the credit for this since Jalen sucks? If he can improve Wicks and Cooper, let's see him do it. He's never done it before. Let's see it. Prince, who will get the credit? Of course, Jalen will. Seals, we're a smart fan base. The moment Lemon drops a pass, screws up a route, the whole stadium would start screaming for Cooper. I hope they don't do that. I want him to get on the field. You're going to go through growing pains as a rookie. You're going to have drops. You're going to have missed assignments. You'd be doing Lemon a disservice throwing him into the Wolves. So you drafted that guy at 17 in the year you got rid of AJ to redshirt? If he's healthy, you're not going to put him out there? Really? Seals, wouldn't you say in the West Coast offense you need to be a competent wide receiver and tight end and running back are the first options? Of course. Of course. Hope your offensive weapons can get separation. Hurts doesn't like throwing into tight windows. He'd rather throw the ball out of bounds. DFW, all the things people are saying he's working. Hey, listen, that offense may not look all that hot this year, but the things that Hurts is working on is great. And when you hear people working on different things like that, good. Hey, by the way, I never said Hurts is having a bad camp. I just think your offense doesn't look all that hot. Now, it's going against Vic. But then again, last 2 years, I never heard a problem because you had AJ and Devontae. Q's not locking AJ Brown down every play. That's not happening. This stupid here. So we won't go there. Quez Watkins' best season was with Hurts. AJ Brown's best games. Oh, you're right. Hey, I'm sure the passing game will get much better this year, which it's never been. I mean, Look at Prince saying this, and the passing game for 5 years has been terrible. 28th, 18th, 8th, 29th, and 23rd. And Prince will have you believe it's been electric. Offense doesn't look good when we're installing a new playbook and Smitty's hurt. Wow, that's so crazy. Well, then how can you tell me you're having a good camp? How are you telling me that? And Lane, by the way, and Lane was out a week. How are you telling me you're having a good camp then? Isaiah, how are you having a good camp? You didn't have Lane Johnson for a week. You haven't had Smitty for a week and a half now. You haven't had Lemon. And you have one guy catching footballs. How are you, and you're not tackling to the ground. How are you having a good camp? There's a lot of this going on. How are you having a good camp with all those guys out? You're right, Isaiah. Sky's falling? I'm talking about what you've done for 10 days. The fuck are you talking about, guy? Stop moaning, RC. Eagles do not play players that have practiced. Not according to last year. You guys put out Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, and those guys said you played them hurt. Richie Commanders won't have Tunsil playing, though. That's a big loss. Are you lying and saying last year's offense during camp was better than right now? Well, last year you won 11 ball games. How am I lying? You don't – wait a minute, Brock. How the fuck do you know what you're going to do this year? That team a year ago won the NFC East and won 11 ball games. What are you saying? How is that lying? They became the first team in 21 years to win back-to-back NFC East, win 11 ball games, and made the playoffs. What do you have to show for? Well, that camp produced 11 wins, a division title, and a playoff berth. What have you produced with this new thing? You don't know. So what are you talking about lying? Exactly. I agree. Hey, Prince, why are you going to be better than you were a year ago? A division champ, 11 wins, and a playoff berth. Why are you going to be better this year? What do you think, Prince? Why are you going to be better? Why are you going to be better? Why are you going to be better? 100% alignment with lesser players. Hey, because we're all on the same page, we may not be the same in talent, but we'll all be in the same boat. There's something to that. Here, watch this. This is why. Because of what you've been saying, the offense has sucks for the last the offense has sucked for the last 2 years. I'm assuming you mean that, right? They're changing it now, and they're just thinking it's going to be worse than it was the last 2 years. No, Prince. Why do you believe you're going to be better this year? Because why? Because of what you've been saying. The offense has sucks for the last 2 years, right? They're changing it now, and they're just thinking it's going to be worse than it has been the last 2 years. Okay. What? Can it be worse than 20? No. I just want to know where Prince feels that they're going to be better. Or is this just wishful thinking? You're right. You haven't had Lane. You haven't had Devontae. You haven't had Lemon. But yet, the offense has performed well. I'm not saying Jalen hasn't. Since it's almost just a return to the mean, the run game can't be as bad as last year, okay? With a better run game, Jalen will play a little better, okay? Offense was terrible last year. They need to do is be competent. You can't get much worse. Like I said, you won a division title, you made the playoffs, and you won 11 ball games. That's what that offense produced. With AJ. Sills, that Hurts interception is now at 5.2 million views. Okay? Let's see here. Let me go over here. Let's see here. Let me go to the... Oh, yeah, 5.3 million views. A system that has method and reasoning behind it and never been accomplished. Doing it just to do it. Yes, both were first-time play callers, OC, but Mannion has a reason. He does everything. Another year in Vic's system. Okay. Not a horrible take. If the Eagles are a top 10 defense by the end of the year, was it worth signing both Carter and Davis to huge contracts? Oh, I got a topic here for that. Oh, my God. The pressure on those two guys? Better not have a shitty game. Both of you. Very few teams have players making over $25 to $30 million. And the kind of money that they've invested. Very few spend that kind of money. You better play your ass off. That will be a focal point for me every game. How well the defensive tackles played. Every game, we will have a DT segment. Offense struggled in camp with Adoree Jackson last year. This year, offense is cooking with nobody at receiver, and you're acting like the sky's falling. They're cooking? JC and JD are going to have all-pro years. No shit. You paid them for it. Alfredo, are you saying something that what? You pay people that kind of money? What are you expecting? Less than Pro Bowl? Or All-Pro? Thanks for not robbing a bank. This guy wants to thank you for not robbing a bank. Are going to have all-pro years. Of course they are. They better. The hell are you paying them for then? Q picked off Jalen, dove for the ball, got it, then punted it. I laughed my ass off when he punted it. Because Vic was talking shit to him and about him in the presser. I think that's really a great relationship that those guys have. I just absolutely love that. Yeah, well, again, you got to remember, you don't know if they're being told not to take people to the ground. And diving at a guy in practice, I don't know, maybe the receiver didn't want to hurt Q. So you don't want to do that shit in practice. So Q jumped the route because Hurts didn't look him off. But you're not looking to kill anybody in practice. Sills, forget that we just drafted a first rounder. Assume Lemon is a 600-yard guy, okay? Be a great year for him. Would you invest another first rounder in a wide receiver in the next 2 years? Keep in mind, would be cheaper. Wick's only here 2 years. How many, you can't develop anybody else the second or third rounds? Do you really need to go get a one wideout every time? And by the way, Bird, Howie's not that great at drafting wideouts. We still got to wait and see what Lemon does. Hang in there on Lemon. I'm just talking about the first half of the season. Hey, it's now gotten to a point for me. It's not just about the Commander game. It's now the first half of the season that I'm talking about. I'm now in the room of the first half of the year. This is where I'm at. Okay? Not just the Commander game in 34 days. No. Just got here. Still's making a big deal about the interception clip. No. Everyone else is. An interception in practice? Okay. With Slim Reaper, first wide receiver off the board. If Lemon is a bust, Howie should not draft wideouts for a while. With Slim Reaper, the first wideout off the board, I thought he was the 10th pick back in the day when Devontae was drafted. I thought he was number 10. Am I right when I say that? Seals, you heard about the idiot Bob Iger buying the Lakers. Holy cow. 15-point-something million. He bought the Lakers. I think Dr. Jerry Buss bought the team for $17 million back in the day off of Preston Marshall. What an investment that bitch is. Wow. Flexion, if I remember correctly, did we trade with a team in that draft to get Smitty? Yeah, the Cowboys. Chase went first. Okay. Jamar Chase went first. Okay. Cowboys defense would dominate the Eagles offense in a joint practice like they did the Rams. Hey, dude, the Rams didn't have Stafford from what I was told. Or maybe it did. I don't know. I mean, by the way, Battle Royale. Big Z. Battle Royale at 4:30. No NFL team will dump that kind of money on 2 tackles. Eagles will lose 3 quality guys because of it. Yeah, well, hey, Hollywood, that's going to be a focal point of the Philadelphia Eagle defense. You're not only spending that kind of money on those 2 tackles, you're also spending $17 million on that linebacker behind him. The way I look at this, if Lemon isn't a 1,000-yarder every year outside of year 1, I think we need the production. Need 2 1,000-yard receivers. Hoss, do you know how impossible that is to have 2 1,000-yard receivers in what the Eagles have had the last couple of years? You want to hear this? The Philadelphia Eagles, prior to AJ and Devontae showing up, never had a 100-catch wideout in the history of their franchise. And you think you're going to get a big-time wideout on every draft selection, you're crazy. You didn't have a 100-catch guy at wide receiver until Devontae and AJ showed up. It wasn't like you were littered with all these phenomenal receivers that you've had in your past. That's not the case. You're more of a tight end organization. Your tight ends your tight ends dominated the landscape, not receivers. I was at the game when Michael Irvin went down with the neck injury at the vet. The crowd pissed me off. That was Irvin's last game. Hate Dallas, but I wish he was a Bird. What a competitor. Got great respect for Philly. I know he does. He tells us all the time. I believe in Lemon. He just needs to get healthy. Okay? Tell you what, Eagles better not come playing against my Cowboys. Stop crying, Eagle fans. Bond will get re-signed. You don't let a top 5 LB go. Trotter's a huge downgrade. So you're going to pay Bond next year? Boy, man, you got a lot of guys at the bank standing in line to talk to that teller named Jeffrey Lurie. You got a line all the way to the door and around the corner now with the guys you got to pay. Now you're going to put Bond in the teller line? Hey, Zach, I want you to stand in line here next to a Jomo, Jalix Hunt, Smitty, Hertz, Q, Cooper. You got a lot of guys. Tyler Steen, he's eligible for an extension. A lot of guys. I don't think it's that difficult. Look at the Cowboys, Bengals, Rams, Vikings, etc. We didn't used to have that, but we didn't win Super Bowls until we have the recipe. It's doable. Okay? Bro, until your Cowboys make it to an NFC title game in the 21st century, keep your mouth shut. Hey, how about this? Make it 2. You're right. Make it 2. Man, the Cowboys haven't made a conference championship game in 30 years. Damn. How much cap do you estimate the Eagles will have next season? With Lane and Goddard off the books. Remember, you still got cap issues with those guys when they leave. Because you got the void years. Now, Howie may give them parting gifts to bring that money down. Dan Sileo, I still believe in Makai Lemon. I believe he'll be great. He just needs to get healthy. Not writing him off just yet. Oh, man, you shouldn't write that guy off until next offseason after 27. That's when you write him off or you prop him up. Dude, that guy's got 34 games to show he can play in the NFL. After that, you'll know. You'll know halfway through those 34 games if the player's a good player or not. But he's got 34 games. He's a first-round draft choice. And he's going to get about 34 ball games to prove he can be an NFL player. Cowboy fans talking shit about us having a ring. We got 2 now, knocking on the door for another. Been to 4 Super Bowls since 96. You know what's happened, Forrest? You guys are like the Red Sox talking shit to Yankee fans. You guys have had numerous World Series rings in the last 25 years, and the Yankees have had 1. And they're still talking about their banners from 1952. I mean, that's kind of where you are now. Trotter's like Dean. I don't think so. '49ers at least have made a Super Bowl or an NFC title game a few times themselves since 2000. Shit, yeah. Who else has done that? And made it. Shit, the Jets have been to conference title games since 2000. Think about that, Forrest. The New York Jets have been to more conference championship games than the Cowboys since 2000. Put that in your hat. JD5, mom against smashing by Diggs. Hopefully he gets JD5 rides to practice. It's like the Irish boomer still talking about the ring in 88. Hey, Kyle, Notre Dame has had 2 national championships since 1977. 77. They've had 2 national titles. Since 1977, Montana's last year at Notre Dame in 88. You would think that those guys have been winning national titles like every other year. 2 titles since 1977. Almost 50 years ago. $31.7, never forget it. We own the Niners and Purdy. Purdy has a winning record against you, I think. Doesn't he? How many wins does Brock Purdy have versus the Eagles? He's 2-1. How are you owning him? Brock Purdy's 2-1, dude. I mean, according to you guys' stats. Let's see, hold on. Well, then how are you bringing up 31-7 against Purdy if it's not a relevant stat? Oh, I see. It only works for you guys. I got it. Let's move on to another one here. How many years do you guys think your Super Bowl window is open right now? And do you think it's open? I don't believe this is a Super Bowl team. I think it's a Super Bowl roster. But what you're asking it to do, I think it's going to hurt it. Once again, I don't have a problem with the roster. I have a problem with your approach. How many years do you think you still have a Super Bowl window? 5 more years. Two, counting this year. Counting this year. Can only be Purdy when he's hurt. He always gives you girls the belt. What's that? Say it again. Sills, some of these people can't write. Sills, I have told all. Here he goes. Sills, I have told all I am from Delaware Randy White, by far the best player in the NFL to come out of the state. True story, my cousin, Kathy, went to prom with him in 72. Do you still talk to Randy? Every now and then. I talk to Ed Jones more. My wife and I love Too Tall. The last time we saw Too Tall was at the Super Bowl. And we got a great picture of me and her and him. And we've known Ed Too Tall Jones probably, Jesus, almost 35 years. I've known Ed about 37 years. Tremendous guy. All I know about San Francisco, Purdy got his back blown out by the Eagles 31-7. We own Purdy. We smoked his arm like a cigar. What happened in the playoff game? Sills, what's your favorite Super Bowl game? I'll tell you, I like that Patriots comeback win against the Rams. I like that one. I like the Steeler Cowboy 35-31 game. I like that Giants Eli Manning beating Brady's undefeated team. That was a pretty good Super Bowl. The Kansas City 49er game in overtime was good. Those some of them there. That Cowboys Super Bowl over the Bills. The Giants Super Bowl with the Norwood miss was pretty good. Now you always bring up. How about Brady coming back 28-3 against choke artist Kyle Shanahan? A great one. But we talked shit how the Commanders beat us when Jalen got a concussion. So the Eagles was up 21-0 on Cowboys and got shut out by Matt Eberflus and his defense in the second half. They sure did. And they ran the ball well. Is Cooper and AB the same situation when AB's rookie year? Remember something, though. Pittsburgh doesn't draft wideouts in the first round. That's not what they really do. All of their great wideouts, outside of guys like Lynn Swan, I don't even think Hines Ward was a first rounder. Pittsburgh doesn't spend like a lot of money on first round draft choices at wideout. All their legendary wideouts have been late round picks or mid round picks. Nobody really big like first round. That's not what they do. Now their player development was better back then. Those are two big wins on Eli's resume with his 500 record. Huge wins twice over Bills, Patriots, two amazing throws. People remember that. Yes. I said rarely. Here. In the last, let's put this in here. Last 50 years. Last 50 years. How many first round wide receivers have the Steelers drafted? Let's see here. Okay. So, let's see. 2006, Santonio Holmes. Let's see. 2000, Plaxico Burress. So in the last 25 years, they drafted 3 wideouts. In 25 years. 2 wideouts. Excuse me. Santonio Holmes and Plaxico Burress. In the last 25 years. Funny how the Eagles know history about all other teams doing their 52 years of losing. The Eagles have been a great organization since 2000. They have been. And there's no getting around it. I think it depends on how this new system performs. If it ends up doing a top 12 offense, I think we have another 2 to 4 years. Assuming it could continue getting younger on offense, the system is the key. Well, they change their system every other year. So I was looking at Hard Knocks last night. The Ravens really dropped the ball by letting Mike McDonald go, then getting rid of Harbaugh. Well, Mike McDonald won a Super Bowl, became a head football coach. You had to let him go. But letting John Harbaugh go? Dude, he'd been there 18 years. I mean, it's not like a Supreme Court seat where you're going to be a coach there forever. I think Jesse Minter has got a really big hill to climb. By the way, as I do Sean Mannion. Kevin Patullo had a gravy train last year. I think Sean Mannion has an almost unwinnable situation. You got to rely on if your O-line's going to be healthier. You've got to rely on 4s and 5s to improve the passing game. And you're really leaning on Hurts to be able to have a smooth transition from going from one style of play to another style, which he hasn't done. You're asking a lot of players who have never done this, and a coordinator who's never done it with lesser talent. I think that's a big-time ask, dude. Kevin Patullo had AJ. He had the same personnel, basically, minus AJ, that Sean Mannion has. I mean, there's no difference. This guy just says you shit on Woolen for getting fired from the Seahawks. Why doesn't he get the same grace as Harbaugh? What do you mean? Jesse Minter? I don't know what he's going to do. Who himself got his ass fired from Baltimore. Don't we shit on people who get fired here? What do you mean? He got fired he got a raise in New York. He's now making $22 million a year as a head coach. I'd like to get fired and get a raise like that. He went to becoming the highest paid coach in pro football. Talk about getting fired. So, M. Reyes wants me to shit on a guy who got fired and got a raise in New York. The guy got a raise. He now makes $22 million a year. I mean, hey, how'd you like to get fired and get a raise? Hey, John Harbaugh, man, he got himself fired. Yeah, for a better job. Whew. Wow, what a take, Reyes. Wow. He got himself fired for a better job and more control. Woo! And in New York. Hey, Sue, that's something else. Wow, John Harbaugh got himself fired because of the poor coaching. Well, what happened? Well, he got a raise, and they gave him more control. Where's he coached? The New York Giants. Okay. Hey, man, what a take that is. Hey, that's a really good one. Let's see here. Why didn't they fire Harbaugh first then? Our window is closed as long as Nick, Mr. In-game adjustment guy, Sirianni's the head coach. I didn't say your window's closed. I think this football team this year is going to have a lot to have to overcome. I think you got a Super Bowl. I think you might have a Super Bowl roster. But the direction of the team is my problem. I told you that. Well, look at the company that comes in here. Let's see here. Harbaugh, more money, more power. Try again, fanboy. Oh. Here we go. Watch this. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen all have their head coaches fired. Who's the next elite quarterback to get their head coach fired? And Jalen Hurts got his coordinator fired. Did he not? Senor, with that mentality, did Hurts get Kevin Patullo fired? Did he get Brian Johnson fired? Did he? Senor, I'm curious. With that mentality, did Hurts get Kevin Patullo and Brian Johnson fired? No. His head coach that has been there forever. No, Jalen has a new OC every year. No. Of course not. How he makes those decisions. John McMullen says that Nick does. Well, here, wait a minute. Josh Allen's OC got elevated, so Josh Allen got Joe Brady a job. Is that right? Or no? So wait a minute. Senor, Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator a year ago. He got him a job. He's the new head football coach of the Bills. So did he get him a job? And did he not prefer that guy over Sean McDermott, a play-calling head football coach? Didn't he get Joe Brady the job? Or what? Wait. So wait, that doesn't work there. Didn't Allen just get Joe Brady that job? Picking and choosing. Bro, Sileo's the worst, bro. Stop picking and choosing when the shit applies to your players. I don't do that. You guys do. I fight back. He's the one that says he got me. Get this. Prince just said, I said this. No. Senor said that he got his head coach fired. Well, Prince, didn't he get Joe Brady the job? Guy you preferred? He elevated him. I'm just answering Senor. So here, got two OCs head coaching gigs, and he got two coaches fired. Right? It's got to apply both ways. Senor, if he got two guys head coaches, he got two coaches fired, right? Or no? So he got Shane Steichen and Jonathan Grenard, and Gannon, a head football job. Well, Brian Johnson and KP got fired. Hurts never got his head coach fired. We were just talking about OCs, why he's had so many, because he got them fired. There you go, Prince. Move the goalpost, Junior. Good at it. J-Mac does not. I like the way John McMullen works and covers the team for us. Puka Nacua got suspended. Did Puka Nacua get suspended from the Rams? Well, that'll hurt him in that 49er game. That's for damn sure, if that's the case. I haven't seen that yet, but suspension's pending. Well, if he misses that, that's going to hurt that. Hey, that's why everybody's saying, give the Rams the title. Yeah, hang in there. Let's see here. Afternoon Sales, are you still casting doubt on the potential productivity of the 26th season from the Eagles? Just tune in. Yes. Hey, Jonathan, I don't believe you can do it. Well, we'll find out. And I don't believe that cast of wideouts can do it. They got to earn it just like everyone else. Well, if you're talking Cowboys, for damn sure. Hey, Prince, you know what? Hey, you know what's really cool? Between both shows, my other show on the weekend, we're doing 8 million people watching it. How you doing, kid? And wait till this football season here. You don't have to be here, guy. This is not the military. This is not like you don't have to be here. AJ cooked sauce yesterday. Crazy everyone loves calling him washed, but still saying he quit on every single Eagles show. It's time to move on. He's not an Eagle anymore. I think he gets 1,700 this season, if healthy. Seriously, Prince, this is not the military. Let's see here. Tell you what, bro. All good. Hope it's good for you. Average wide receivers can't get the job done. Well, average wide receivers can get the job done if the quarterback elevates them. Absolutely. If the quarterback say look at a guy like, again, we're talking about the greatest of all time with Tom Brady. Okay? And he's elevating Amendola and Edelman. Speaking of great interview with Tony Dungy on your Outspoken show 2 weeks ago. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Isils, which head coaches are on the hot seat for this year? Do you think Nick's on that list? I don't think so. But because of the way they do things like that, yeah. There's a lot of people that say that. Let's see here. Chiefs won a Super Bowl with average wide receivers. Well, you got Patrick Mahomes. Yes, sir. You got Mahomes. Let's see here. Sauce Gardner hasn't been the same since his first 2 years. I think he hasn't been the same since that injury. Remember, he's coming off of an injury, too. So he may not be the same this year. Remember how, and the Colts gave up a bounty for that guy. AJ purposely played down his performance as an Eagle. My question is, how in the world the Eagles didn't notice it? You think AJ Brown played down to his potential? Maybe at the end a little. Okay? Maybe AJ's fault for the entire offensive production a year ago? That's on him? Man. I'll say. All right. I heard Zander today, and I'm going to continue the conversation about Lemon. He's right. I can't remember who he was talking to. He was talking to another guy in John. And I'm going to get Zander up here in a minute. But Zander said this, boy, I really expected a little more from a first-round draft choice this year, especially since you moved off of A.J. Brown this season. I'm now getting to a point where I'm concerned about the first half of the season for this guy. So without further ado, don't forget, always check out Birds 365. John McMullen does a great job, man. Without further ado, our friend, Big Z, Zander Krause joins us now. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Z, I thought your conversation with John today, it's almost like these guys don't want to indict. And I hear you. You don't, and you're not indicting the kid's ability. But, bro, we're 3 weeks out from the start of the NFL season. I mean,
one second, dude. I can't hear you. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Wait 1 second. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I hear you loud and clear.
What? Speak.
How you doing?
I can't hear your ass. Let me try taking these things out. Now what? You got me now?
Now you doing? How you doing?
Now I got you. Hopefully my mic sounds all right. Fucking StreamYard's having the worst week in their life.
Week and a half. Right? Week and a half. See, I heard you talking this week or this morning with John. And I think you really brought up a great point, dude. You're not indicting Makai Lemon at all in any way whatsoever when it comes to what he potentially could become at the end of the day. I'm starting to get to a point now where I'm concerned about the first half of the season for the kid.
Well,
and I'll say this to you, right? I thought your take was perfect. Hey, dude, in the year where you got rid of AJ and you drafted a guy at 17, I was expecting this guy to come in and carry some water for the offense, right?
No doubt, dude. No doubt. I mean, I don't understand how people, John included, and I've said this to him, he just doesn't see it like this, but I don't understand how you can comp this scenario to every other first-round pick scenario. Like, it's not. The Eagles have a Super Bowl window open, wide open, and they believe that. And the people around the league believe that based on where they've ranked their roster and things like that. So, this is obviously a situation where these dudes need to they need to step up. But, where I've relented a little bit is, and this is why I was upset with John about the Darius Cooper conversation, is it doesn't have to be Lemon. It just has to be somebody. Somebody has to step up. Is it Lemon? I don't know. It's kind of like when they drafted Dillard. It was such a bad draft pick, but nobody gave a shit because Jordan Mailata worked. You know what I mean? So it's like we need somebody to step up. We need, whether it's Darius Cooper, it's Elijah Moore, it's Dontavian Wicks. I don't know, but we need some of them to step up. I am intrigued by Wicks. I'm intrigued by Cooper, but John keeps telling me it's a summer story and he's not going to get on the field. I don't think the Eagles are in a time right now where it's time to play politics. This is not play politics when you're playing for the next 3 years. Play politics when you're back in the middle of the pack. Play politics when you lose the East. Don't play politics when your Super Bowl window is wide open. Now, I got to give them a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt because the Eagles have made such great decisions overall in the last several years. So I'm not ready to conclusively say that they're doing one thing or another, but I just feel as though somebody's got to step up. And if Darius Cooper's that guy, I don't really care where Makai Lemon was drafted. You got to get him on the football field. We'll see if they do that.
Okay. Z, do you think this is an organization that really looks at perception as a big deal and how they're perceived?
Yes, but I think it's changed a little bit because they're now perceived so highly.
Okay. Well, if they're perceived so high, do you think Howie is perceived highly because of his personnel moves?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how would this look if Darius Cooper's the number 3 wide receiver, Makai Lemon, if healthy, is sitting on the sidelines in week 1, 2, or 3?
Well, it's a blessing and a curse. Your first round pick struggling, but you found a diamond in the rough in Darius Cooper. I mean,
Okay.
that's that's why I used the Mailata Dillard comp. It's not perfect because they're tackles.
Yeah, but what's the level that you're talking about with Cooper? Like, just because Cooper's starting doesn't mean he's going to be a guy you thought
but
he
we
would
can't
be.
determine that until the year, right?
Understood.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to wait and see. I mean, still, you were a player. You understand how
I completely.
sometimes the whole process of the NFL and the scouting and everything that goes into, they miss dudes. It just happens. It just happens. Sometimes there's a dude who can flat out play, or he didn't go to the right school. I mean, I'll rewind a little bit, and to a lesser degree, you did it, I did it, and many people in the chat did it. They'll act like they didn't, but they did. When we drafted Quinyon Mitchell over Teron Arnold,
Oh, absolutely.
there were people who were like, "Man, you took the Toledo dude over to Alabama dude."
Absolutely, I said it.
Again, a lesser degree. Obviously, Quinyon was a first-round draft pick, not the same comp, but Darius Cooper's out there playing, getting open on Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, and Tariq Woolen he had on skates in a Vic Fangio defense. I mean, I think the dude can flat out play. So, I'd like to see him get out there, but I get your point. I mean, just because he's out there doesn't mean he's going to make up for it. But the one thing that you said that I 100% agree with, I mean, and I don't think there should be any other way to look at it. When you don't have the receivers that win on talent alone, the quarterback has to elevate those guys. And I also think the offense and the coaching staff around them as well.
Yes.
We talk a lot about how Patrick Mahomes elevates, Juju Smith-Schuster. Well, Andy Reid does too. So I think the coaching staff and the quarterback have to elevate these dudes. And, we'll see what it looks like this year. But I don't know. I have a weird feeling that this Darius Cooper dude is not just some undrafted dude that can get – that's another Travis Fulgham.
I like his energy.
To be a good player.
I like his energy. I like his energy of wanting to be really good and fighting for something. I'm going to tell you something, dude. I heard something that John said to you. I could not disagree more with this. When you said this to him, hey, man, schemes matter. Well, let me ask you this. If I put a lesser talented guy in a scheme, the chances of that scheme being not very good, I don't care if it's Vic Fangio. You tell me this, Zander. If you put the Eagles scout team defense in Vic Fangio's defense scheme in week 1 against the Commanders versus the talent you have that are on your starting 53, you think you're going to get killed by the Commanders? Of course you are.
Yeah.
My point is, you don't think Vic puts people like Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond in positions to make their road easier to get to their goal? If you have a guy that knows how to get to a goal with an easier path than the other coach, who do you think is going to do more for his football team this year? Vic or Sean Mannion? Vic, experience, knows the road, knows the speed bumps. Sean Mannion's got to learn those speed bumps still.
Yeah, but to be fair, just to be fair to Mannion, I agree. But
I'm comparing him to Vic. Okay.
And Vic does have some pretty good players to work with right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's
got a first and a second at the secondary. He's got Tariq Woolen. You know what I mean? Like, he's got talent.
Yeah, but I'm talking making Bond, improving.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, do you think that Jordan Davis has improved since Vic became the coach?
Oh, absolutely. But to be fair, I think that's been mostly Clint Hurt. I mean, Clint Hurt, what a whale of a job.
In Vic's scheme.
What a hell of a job that dude has done.
Right.
I mean, that dude is just deserves so much credit for what's going on that defensive line. Now, there's great players he's got to work with, but really has brought out the best in those guys. But no, I get what you're saying. I mean,
certain coaches know the easier road to success than others. Just based on experience.
And are you saying Mannion can't do that, or you just think it's too much of a gamble at this point in time to go with somebody who doesn't know?
I think because he hasn't done it yet and been through the experiences of losing. It took Vic 40 years to win a Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah.
And listen, is he capable? Yeah. Will the Eagles give him time? I don't know.
I mean, that's a fair question.
I just don't know.
I do like Sean. I mean, I don't know if I'm just going Eagle fan on it, but I mean, when I listen to the dude, I'm like, the guy sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Because he gives you reasonings.
Yeah,
why you're doing shit.
I think I also think it's all seemingly at this point until we see it in action. But to me, he seemingly has a good idea of where the most important areas to push are on, like communication with the quarterback. Such a simple thing, but Kevin Patullo clearly didn't do that well. I mean, Jalen Hurts has given 3 times now, credit to Mannion for the way he's communicated, and Sean has emphasized it as well. I listened to your buddy Mark Tressman. I'm pretty sure in his book, which I purchased, didn't read fully through it yet. I'm pretty sure he discusses how important it is for an offensive coordinator to be on the same page always with the quarterback. It's one of the most important relationships in the entire locker room, he said.
Yes.
I don't think some other dudes did that right. It feels like Sean understands that. Whether he does it well is another question, but at the very least, understanding it, I think, is a good thing.
How do you feel about going into week 1 with Darius Cooper, Dontavian Wicks, and Devontae Smith as your wideouts?
I feel all right about that. I don't think that's as bad as we think. I mean, I think Dontavian's had a pretty good camp. And Darius Cooper I'm pretty high on, but it's obviously not what it once was. And it's going to mean that Jalen and the coaching staff are going to have to do more to elevate and put those guys in positions to succeed. But I don't feel as bad about it as I did in June.
Has Darius Cooper played a regular season football game yet?
Yeah, he played. He was on the roster last year. I think he had around 100 yards, like 10 catches.
Okay, so he's been in. So for them to put him into a game plan where he's going to get maybe 35 catches this year, would you take something like that, 35, 40 catches?
It depends. I mean, if he goes to the bench because they want Lemon out there, probably not. But yeah, I think 35 is a good number.
Z, you think it's a Super Bowl window still? How many years do you think that window's open right now?
Well, I do think it is right now, but I think you're skating on thinner ice because the offensive line is older and there's more question marks there. Like I've even heard some, the reports on Landon aren't too good right now coming out.
So the margins are thinner, you think?
In my opinion, just from the offensive line's perspective, because anybody, you guys all know watching football, you could have a great football team. Dude, your offensive line goes to shit. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time winning at a big level. And like right now, it feels like, all right, Lane's hanging him up after this year. Landon, I don't know. What's he have? 2 years left, 3 years left, 4 years left, 1 year left? I don't know. Mailata is now in his 30s, I believe. Juergens, I feel all right about. And Steen might be a rotating door. Like you could be looking at realistically 3 offensive line changes in the next 2 years,
Correct.
3 years.
Correct.
So I think there's the big thing there. Defense, I feel like you're in a pretty good spot. I mean, you got Quinion. They're basically Howie basically already said he's going to pay Quinion and Cooper. He already has Davis and Carter signed. I'm more optimistic at linebacker now because Trotters seemingly is looking so damn good. So if they have to make a decision on Bond, they're pretty good there. So you're good at secondary. You're good at linebacker, and you're good on the defensive line. Edge will figure out what they do. And safety, it feels like Makuba is coming along pretty well if he can stay healthy. So defense, I think they're going to be good for the next foreseeable future. The offensive questions, I think, are fair, but, Devontae's got to elevate. They got to figure out a replacement for Goddard. I mean, if they want to keep the window open, because it doesn't feel like it's Stowers.
I thought they drafted one.
Yeah, well, I mean, he needs to make some big improvements to be that type of replacement. I mean, Goddard, might not be the best in the league, but he does a lot of things well and has in his career. So it's going to be interesting. But I think it's open sales for the next 2 years at least until I see.
Okay. How do you feel about running Green Bay's offense? You think Green Bay's offense has been that great the last couple of years?
I mean, I don't think it's been that great, but I don't think they have the type of players we have.
I think your wide receiving cores outside of Devontae, because Devontae's better than that kid they got, Watson, what's his name?
Watson, yeah.
he's better than him, but the other guys kind of are all in the room together.
Yeah, well, now they are. I don't disagree with that.
I think they got a better tight end than you.
Jacobs is a good running back, obviously. Tucker Kraft is fucking incredible. I mean, Tucker Kraft is a much better player than Dallas Goedert, at least at this point. I mean, but that dude's coming off a big injury, so we'll see how he looks this year. I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job with Jordan Love. I mean, they've also, it's not easy to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan. It's not all the same offense.
40 years they've had.
They're doing something right on the offensive side of the ball. So, yeah, I don't have much of a problem with that. Where were they ranked last year, the Packers offense?
That's a good call there. I have been very, when I think of the Packer offense, I'm like, it's been so spotty, Zander.
They were 15th in total offense, averaging 330 yards per game.
How about their passing game?
Passing offense, 15th.
Okay. Run?
17th. Points, 16th.
All
middle of the pack.
Middle of the league, right?
But remember, didn't Love missed 4 games, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think the rookie they had missed some games, Golden.
Yep. And then Kraft missed a shitload of games too.
I wonder where they were on Kraft got hurt. Let me check PFF just to see. I know not everybody likes PFF, but I do like the advanced stuff.
Yeah, I do. I like the advanced numbers.
Let me look what we
got. Because Kraft was like the top tight end. Zander, he was like the top tight end in the league, but when he went down, he was a weapon, dude.
They were 8th on offensive ranking last year.
Okay. Before Kraft went down. All right.
No, overall on the year.
Oh, overall. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think it's spotty at times. And I do like Matt LaFleur as a play caller. So if he resembles that at all, you got yourself a good football coach. If Sean Mannion can be any way near Matt LaFleur, I think that's a good coach, All right. So how do you think, Zander, how do you think Hurts's camp has gone?
I think pretty good. I mean, I like what I'm hearing about some of the things he's doing differently. He seems to have taken a liking to what they're trying to do on offense. I think I saw a report today. Adam Schefter was like, I didn't know you could get faster at 28. You heard Vic Fangio say he looks faster. I mean, Jalen Hurts clearly, I think, knows, hey, man, it's time to run the football, to run the football again, Now, to be fair, all right, and here come people aren't going to like this comment. That's all right. To be fair, I'm not a fan of you're not in a contract year, so you don't run the ball. And now you're in a contract year and you're going to run the ball again. Did he get faster or is the will and the want to back? I have a little bit of a problem with that, but whatever. It is let's see what happens. I'm not crushing him for it. I'm optimistic, though, that he's going to run the football again this year. And I think he's going to have a good year, man. I think they got to get the run game going, and he's got to kind of clean up the rest and do a good job.
You see everything Zander just said right there? Okay. Well, has he done enough for an extension then right now before you get ahead of it? Why don't we do this? If he's doing all these things and he looks like this and he's looking like that, he looks faster, he's doing this, do you really want to pay the Jerry Jones tax that John calls in March? Well, wait a minute. He's looking like a superstar. He's looking like this.
They gave you the answer to that, though, dude. They would have given him the deal. Now, maybe the deal comes before the season starts.
That's what I'm saying. Would you pay now? All the things that you're hearing? How great it's sounding, how great it's looking, him buying in.
Look at that. I told you everybody was going to get so upset at that comment. Oh, Sean, fucking pucker up, dude. Holy crap, dude. Alfredo says he wasn't putting his body on the line for KP. It's for the name on the front, Alfredo. Come on, Alfredo. Unbelievable, Sills. I told you they weren't going to like that comment.
No way.
It's a fair comment. It's a fair comment.
Slide
him behind the line of scrimmage after you get your big old contract, and then you got a new deal coming, and now you're running all over the place again. Hey, listen, I'm happy because I just want the Eagles to have a good year. And I think him doing that will lead to them having a better year. So I'm good with that. Well,
let me ask Alfredo this. Since Jalen Carter got that contract, if Jalen Carter's first team All-Pro, and he knew that he was waiting for that contract extension, he becomes first team All-Pro. Are you bitching that he wanted a contract and now all of a sudden he was in the offseason working his ass off, and he got a contract, and they paid him. Of course you're not going to be pissed. You're like, I'm glad we did it now. I'll tell you what, Z, your two boys, though, man, your defensive tackles, what? A lot of pressure on those guys. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Holy shit. Those guys have to play. Some guy in here goes, all pro season incoming. Well, no shit. You're paying both of them north of $25 million. You better get all pro seasons out of them. I mean, I don't know why people want to be patted on the back for not robbing a bank. I mean, dude, what are you expecting here? So who's the backup quarterback, dude?
The backup quarterback? I don't know. Sills, let's just play a scenario out. You need a win. It's week 16. Jalen's going to miss one football game from a sore knee, something happened. You need to win one ball game. You feel better about Dalton or you feel better about McKay?
No, I got one better for you. Okay. How's the O-line playing? Hurts season's going well. They're running the ball well. Who would you put in there? You know who I put in there? I might put old Cole Payton back in there to run the football.
Come on.
Wait a minute. I heard he's a spectacular runner.
Well, maybe you throw some Wildcat in there with Cole.
Wildcat.
You're not
20 yard. Wait, 50-year-old Andy Dalton?
Nah. You think Dalton or McKee gives you a better chance to win one football game?
Dalton.
I happen to agree. But I'm not out on McKee. I like McKee.
Dalton. Yeah. Andy Dalton, bro. Holy. Hey, man, everybody's talking about Darius Cooper. Now, is it real? Or is it not? Is he really the guy? Is Darius Cooper the guy?
I like him, but I don't know if he's the guy. He's not going to have the opportunity, Sills. If you don't have the opportunity in life, then you can't showcase who you are, what you can do. You know, I mean, if they're going to put him on the bench because they used the first-round pick on Lemon, then so be it. But that means Lemon's got to step the hell up. But I don't know. I mean, I think John had a good point. Like, it's easy to get a little concerned on Lemon, but at least this. Guys like Rager, he can never run around. Guys like Aguilar couldn't track a football. Like, at least Lemon does those things well. That doesn't mean he's going to be this great NFL player. That's not what I'm saying. But at least you know you have that. Okay, he can run a route well. He can track the football well. He has good hands. Now, does that mean he becomes a great NFL player? No, but it's not like you're banking on, hey, he's the deep threat or he's got this crazy 4.3 speed. You know, he's kind of has the more polished skill set as of a wideout. Let's see if he gets on the field and what he can do. But, you know, I like Cooper, Sills.
Okay. Do you think Makai Lemon is closer to being Quez Watkins or Devontae Smith?
What a fucking play. I mean, Devontae Smith's tough, dude, because, you know, he's such a great pro. He does everything well at that position. I mean, I can't put Makai Lemon.
Okay. Well, then here. Is he closer to Quez Watkins or Dontavian Wicks?
Dontavian Wicks, I think.
If that guy turns out to be Dontavian Wicks, how do you feel about it?
Not great. It depends. Like Nolan Smith, he's a first-round pick, but
way too early on this yet. Way too early.
It depends. It's like Nolan Smith. Is Nolan Smith a bad pick if he doesn't get to his second deal? I don't know. The guy was a huge contributor to a Super Bowl win. Do you wish you could get a little bit more? Are there areas of it that are disappointing? Sure. But are you good with that pick? I am. Wait.
Well, how about this? If a first-round draft choice doesn't get a second contract, how do you feel about that?
You always want a first-round pick to get a second contract. But again, if they don't, does that mean that the pick, the 5 years you got out of them for the pick was bad? No. There's areas of it that are disappointment. But so you think Nolan Smith was an objective failure because he won't get a second contract here if he doesn't?
All I'm saying is that if you draft a guy in the first round, you're hoping he's a benchmark for your football team for more than just 4 years, don't you? Or is that okay? Are you okay with that? If you get play from a player for 4 years, are you all right with that? I don't know. Maybe I have to modify that.
I mean,
Wait
I
a minute.
get what you're saying.
Maybe I have to modify that too in today's NFL.
I get what you're saying, but you always want that, but you can't. Sometimes you can't have the whole cake. Sometimes a piece is good enough. If you take the piece, you move on, you live to see another day.
Let me play a small game with you then here on that. I like that topic. If I put Jalen Hunt out there on the open market right now, what do you think you'd get for him in return for a draft pick?
For Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hunt.
Oh, Jalen Hunt. I don't know. Probably.
Say it. A 2?
2 or 3?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. 2? I don't think he's proven 2 yet. What did we just trade for Jonathan Grenard? Now, different situations because he needs a contract, but Jalen's going to need a contract soon too. We traded a 4th round pick? Yeah. No, 2 third-round picks.
Wow. Okay. Man. Okay. Here, let me play another one here with you.
So I think a 3.
What would you get Moro Jomo in return?
I think you could get a decent amount. I think you could get a 3 for him.
3.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little high there, but I don't know. He's a pretty good, and he's a pass rusher.
What would you give for Zach Bond, even at his age right now?
That's a tougher one to gauge because linebackers don't get traded much, and they're not seen as valuable across the league. A 3, 4, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a GM. I'm just fucking shooting from the hip here.
Yeah, what would you get for Nolan Smith?
4 or 5, probably. 4, 5, maybe a conditional 5.
He's not getting a second contract, and if you put him on the open market, his value is a 4th and a 5th. That's not real value for a guy.
I don't know what it is. I mean, don't use my numbers as
okay. Well, I'm saying, like you're not wrong. I would probably think a 4th, but dude, his value's not high. He's like, you couldn't get a lot for that guy.
Yeah, but again,
and you drafted him 31, and he's not going to get a second, contract.
Well, injuries are a big thing.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, guy can't stay healthy. So, that's been his biggest issue.
See,
if you asked me what he was worth after the Super Bowl year when he delivered a great second half of the year there, I don't know. What would it have been then?
Oh, but higher. That was his highest value. I want you to revamp your numbers for me on Hurts. 2026 will look like what for you?
For Hurts?
Number-wise,
I got like 3,500 passing. I'm going to go back north of 500 rushing. I think he's got to be 500 to 700 rushing again. And give me 25 to 28 tutties through the air. And give me under 8 or 9 picks. I'd be good with. I think people are too. Everybody's got to chill out on the picks. All right,
higher volume, yes.
I think people got to relax on these picks. The guy throws 1 pick, and people act like the fucking world is ending. It's like, dude, chill out. All right, picks happen. It's football. You're playing against NFL defenses. If you want to have a quarterback throw the ball in the tight windows or try and win a game with his arm, there's going to be some picks. I mean, Jalen's never been a crazy turnover guy outside of 2023. So I'm good with under 9 picks. I think 25 to 28 touchdowns, 3,500, 500 to 700 on the ground, and maybe another 5 to 8 touchdowns on the ground would be perfect.
You think he's got to have 35 total touchdowns for that offense to be a success this year?
I don't think it comes down to that. I mean, because Saquon Barkley always tips the scale. I mean, how many does Saquon get? Do they do the tush push again? I'm not exactly sure what the exact number. I don't love to put a number on it in terms of touchdowns, what he has to do, but the one thing about Jalen he is a dynamic player from a sense of he will get touchdowns naturally, whether it's by land or by air. So I think 35 would be a good number, though. 28 on the ground through the air and 7 on the ground, or maybe 26 through the air and 9 on the ground. I think that'd be great.
Give me a successful year for Sean Mannion.
Sean Mannion has to have an effective offense that you don't feel like is a liability game in and game out.
So it's more.
I don't
visual.
know what exactly that looks like.
It's more visual than number.
Forget visual. No, it's not visual. It's actual effectiveness. Are you the worst team in the league in 3 and outs again? Are you 3rd and 12 every time you line up on 3rd down? Those are the things you have to fix. I don't really care if it's ugly or it's pretty. I understand some people care a lot about that, but I'm not gauging Sean based on, hey, they threw the ball perfectly this year or great this year. I don't think that's what it's about. I mean, he's got to have a better, more effective offense. He's got to have better communication with the quarterback. They have to be more on the same page week in and week out. And I think he has to put his players in a good position to be successful week in and week out. If you put your players in a good position and the play doesn't happen, that's football, man. There's 2 sides of the team. There's two different teams out there. Sometimes you're going to get, sometimes you're not going to win the battle. Got to win the war. And that's kind of how I'm gauging Sean. I know it's a tough answer for someone like you because you want me to just slap a number on that thing, but that's not how I think it is. I think it's got to be an effective, good, strong offense, accentuate the talents of the players, get the run game going, put Jalen in a good position to use his full skill set and see where the team can take you from there.
I want this offense to go back to being the one thing that you were in 2022. You know what that word was? Compatible. And what I mean by that was, how many games did you go into? If you needed to throw the ball, you threw it. If you needed to run it, you ran it. You went to the weakness of that team that you were playing that year. And that offense, the best year they had was in 2022 when they were like a chameleon. 1 week you needed to throw the ball. They would. Right. 1 week they ran the football. They did. They got away from that somehow in how they were compatible with their opponents. That 2022 offense, Zander, every single time you got into a football game, you were like this. Well, remember how they started games out? 12-play drives. And by the time you looked up, you're in the second quarter and there's 6 minutes left in the half. And you were doing this. Where the fuck did the first half go? How many times did they run people off the clock and off the field position because of the way they played? They were like a chameleon, dude. That team was so, you did this, we're doing that. We're doing this, they can't cover this. You have somehow completely gotten away from relying on the talent so much. We're going to run the ball. That's it. We're not doing anything else. We'll kind of throw the ball if we have to, but we're not very good at it. That team in 22 offensively was the best Jalen Hurts offense that they ever had because they could do anything they wanted against anybody, and nobody could stop it.
I'll put this on you too. I'll ask you this. What would the 23 team have accomplished if the defense wasn't 31st in the NFL?
They'd probably be in the NFC title game.
I agree.
And you would have learned to live with those turnovers. Because why?
Turnovers.
Well, he has 21. He didn't put the ball in.
How many?
No. He had 6 fumbles, too.
How many turnovers did Jalen Hurts have in 2023?
15 turnovers. Picks.
20 total. That's too many.
It is. He played 17 ball or 15 ball game. No, that year he played 17.
15 picks and 5 fumbles lost.
Yeah, it's 20 in 17 games.
So he's got to get that number down. But again, I wonder how many of
But it was higher volume. It was 586 passes.
Exactly, because the defense was so horrid. I mean, let me look up one more.
Yeah, you went like 584 attempts that year. Then the next year you went down to 362 or something. Yeah, it was 9 fumbles, but 5 lost. Okay. I mean, yeah.
Nine fumbles, 5 lost. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like that. But then remember, Z, the first 4 games in 2024, remember, he had like 6 turnovers. So like in like 25 games, the guy had like 30 some odd turnovers. They
Yeah.
were just
I
turning
mean,
the ball over.
I don't know. I think naturally, and believe me, I'm guilty of this too, but like, I think we've all gone a little too far on like what Hurts has to be. Like my boy in the chat, Curtis, right now. Curtis, I love you. But right now, you're a Jalen Hurts doomer. And I understand that Jalen doesn't play the style of football that you like. And believe me, when I tell you, Curtis, I understand where you're coming from. And many times I catch myself saying, man, I wish they played a different style of football. But we don't need Jalen to be that. We have a good team. We have a good roster. We have a good defense. We need Jalen to get back to playing like he played when the team did do what they needed to do and go the distance. I'm fine if Jalen Hurts has a 24 year because the defense and running game are so good again. Jalen needs to understand where they are in the season or what's needed of him and meet that moment. I think the biggest criticism of Hurts last season wasn't that he didn't throw for X yards or X or whatever, have this stat or this. It was the team needed you to become this as a player, and you didn't meet that moment. The team needed you to become, elevate the rest of the roster because the run game is struggling and Kevin Patullo sucked ass. He didn't meet it. And when you're an elite quarterback, I think that's what you have to do. You have to be the version of yourself that you need for your team in any given week to win the game. And, I think Jalen can do that. I don't think it's got to be this, he can't run a West Coast offense, so he's never going to be able to do this and sail the season. Fuck that. I mean, come on. That's not what we're asking for. That we don't have the Bengals, dude. We're not the Dallas Cowboys with the worst defense. We don't need Jalen Hurts to turn into something that, you could never imagine him being. We need him to manage the game, be a great quarterback when he needs to be a great quarterback. Don't put the team in bad spots and take advantage of what the defense gives you. Use your legs, use your arms when it comes. Get your playmakers the ball and play good football. Play good complementary football.
I think where you and me differ on this year, here's where you and me differ, and you tell me if I'm wrong. You and me agree the roster's good. I agree with you. The roster's good. I disagree where you I think is this part. You tell me if you agree or disagree. I just think what they're asking these men to do this year, this is not a 2-month thing where this is a 2-year process. This is where you're trying to evolve something, and you've got to find, you don't even know if you have the right players to do what you want to do. You don't even know if you have the right quarterback or the right coordinator to do what you want to do. Everyone's assuming it.
But you're also assuming the brand of football.
Because I've seen inexperienced people before try to do things like this.
No, you didn't let me finish. I'm saying you're assuming that they're going to run that different of an offense.
I am.
I'm not yet sold that they are.
I keep hearing people, that's all they talk about.
It's going to be different, but I'm saying, like, how do they bridge that gap of, where it's different, but it's not, again, you're not asking Jalen to be Brock Purdy.
Like I've said, listen, my issue is not with your roster, it's your approach. And I've said that the entire offseason. It's the approach. That's why I'm not high on it. Okay. And I think you got a good roster. I don't think that offensive skill set position, I'm with John on that. Bro, that's not exceptional. That's not an exceptional group of offensive people in the passing game. Hollywood Brown, Dontavian Wicks, Devontae is a special dude. Barkley could be special again. You have 2 special people in your offensive approach and how you want to attack people. That could be special outside the quarterback. It's Smith and Barkley. If those 2 guys aren't special,
I think Jalen is special.
I think those other guys are dudes.
I think Jalen is special when he uses his full skill set. He's not special as a passer from the pocket.
No,
we all know that. No. But is he special when he breaks your back on 3rd and long with a run?
Immensely.
I mean, somebody in the chat says he can't carry. He carried in 22. I get that was a long time ago, but getting a hybrid version of that player, I think again, we are not a bad organization. Guys, I promise you, we don't want to be the Bills, who needs Josh Allen to be literally the second coming every week.
Every week.
You don't want that.
No way.
Why haven't they been to the Super Bowl? It's not because of Josh Allen. As much as Eagle fans like to criticize Josh Allen, it's not because of Josh Allen.
Here, Z.
It's not going to be that.
G. Josh Allen can't play like Jalen did in that Rams game. And the Bills win.
I know.
You're so talented, you can have a quarterback play that bad and still win because of the exceptional talent that you have around the kid. Okay? That's the difference between Philly and Buffalo. You're right. Allen has 2 picks. Fucker's over.
Yeah.
Okay? So do you believe that Sean Mannion is going to get more out of Jalen Hurts than Shane Steichen did?
Than Shane did? Well, that's tough to say because, the RPO has been kind of legislated out of the game a little bit more so. You're seeing it go back down.
Okay, is he going to make Jalen Hurts a better ball player than what Shane made Jalen Hurts in 22? Will he make him maybe a different ball player?
It's tough. I mean, Shane had him for year 1 and 2 of starting.
Year and a half.
I'm just saying, when you get somebody at the bottom of the roller coaster, it's easier to go up. If I picked you up at the bottom of Mount Everest, it's easier for me to lift you up versus if I got you at the top and I got to take you further.
Well, he's a Super Bowl MVP. He's at the top now. You got the guy at his.
It's harder to elevate somebody who's that high versus getting them, from the ground floor.
Oh, okay. So
I don't like the comp. I think the better comp is Patullo or Mannion. And I think Mannion's going to do a better job.
Well, Jesus, that's a low floor. Kevin Patullo's a low floor, isn't it?
I just got done explaining that. I don't think it has to become this insane, dude,
you just said he's got to play. He's got to elevate though this year for that.
He's definitely going to have to elevate more. No doubt.
That's on the coordinator. Elevate him, isn't it?
Partly. I mean, it's also on him. I mean, got to put some of that burden on the player. But I'm starting to. I don't know. Everybody always tries to put you in a box. It's like. I have optimism that Jalen Hurts will once again deliver the goods. All right. I've spent many days, many shows, many segments where we've cast doubt and said all the things that Jalen can't do. And that's fine. You can do that about every player. Every player has things they can't do. Jalen has also done enough in my time watching him to say, I'm going to sit down and shut up and let him show me. I'm not going to put a box on him. I'm not going to put a ceiling on him. I'm going to let him show me because every time I've seen him be doubted to the point where he'll never do this or he can't do this or there's no way this happens, that's where Jalen, I think, has played the best. And I think that's a great trait from him. But I've seen it too many times for me to sit here and say one way or another that Jalen's either going to be awful or he's going to be – it's like –
Saban put him in a box.
Well, you tell me, did he prove Nick Saban wrong? And I'm the biggest Saban fan out here.
Not as a college quarterback, he didn't.
That's what the argument he did. He took Oklahoma to the Final Four.
Right. Well, again, you think Alabama went back in any way whatsoever without Hurts being the starting quarterback?
That's a different thing.
Yeah, they never took a step back without Jalen being in there.
Yeah, but that's because they were Alabama. And let's be real, they had a pipeline of 5-star.
But they put him in a box by pulling him and saying, I need that guy to throw the ball more in a different style.
And did he break that box? Yes or no?
Yeah, but Nick put him in I'm saying Nick put that guy in a box when he was there at Alabama and said, we think he's this guy, and that's why we're going with Tua.
I'm a Saban fan. I think Jalen broke that box. Nobody.
Yeah, but it didn't affect
Wait
Nick.
A second, though. The conversation shifts. The pendulum shifts. Nobody 8 years ago thought that me and you, let alone anybody in the sports world, would still be talking about Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback in the NFL, let alone a top-tier starter who's performed in 2 Super Bowls. So Jalen he's slided the scale.
I'm not debating that. My point is that Nick saw him for what he thought he was. And right now, we're now in a process of saying, well, are you going to now be more of a passing quarterback?
He's broken.
This is what everyone, but this is the debate. This is why.
Yeah, but you just said Saban put him in the box. And
okay, because everyone else has put him in that box of him not being a passer.
People continue to do it.
There's a reason why 6 million views on an INT today in camp. I mean, in a practice where people aren't taking people to the ground.
Yeah, well, guess what? If you fucking think that that's a big deal, then I think you have not you, anybody listening. If anybody thinks that that's a big deal, you got a pea-sized brain.
It's
literally
not a big deal.
I mean, come on here.
Well, why do you think 6.3 million people have tuned that pick in? Because nobody thinks he can do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of my favorite things about Jalen Hurts. Fuck what everybody says. One of the things I'll always remember, my father's told me this since I was 3 years old. And as I've gotten older, I've seen it play out in life, where it's one of my favorite things my dad ever taught me as a kid. He used to say to me, because I was always the kid who spent time in the principal's office and, the grade school friends, their moms were, Zander, a bad influence, whatever.
This is why we're boys, Z.
I don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks. Fuck what they think. That Jalen Hurts embodies that. Fuck what everybody's got to say. Fuck that. Fuck the box. Break it. I'm optimistic Jalen has a good year this year. Doesn't mean I think he's going to become somebody he's never been, but I think he's going to be a great version of who he is.
And is this going to be a gradual process, or is it going to be a lightning process where this thing, it just clicks and these guys just pick it up because the run. Now, listen, you know how he can become faster, Z? If Barkley gets out of the gate and he goes for 150 in that opening game, Hurts might throw for 300 and some odd yards, or he might throw for 200, but it might be what you're looking for, efficient.
That's what again, I don't want to get too far from that. I don't think you come into the season wanting to be, it's got to be the Jalen Hurts show every week. That's not a good way to win. I don't think that's a good way to win for any team. I don't care who your quarterback is.
Correct, because it wasn't the Sam Darnold days. It was about playing.
There's only one quarterback.
It's about collective.
There's only one quarterback in the NFL right now who's proved that they can actually have success with that, and it's Mahomes. That's it.
He's the
Josh Allen couldn't. I mean, look, and I'm a Josh Allen fan.
I got you.
All right, I'm a big Josh Allen fan. In fact, we have Mark Holmes in the green room. Eagle fans don't like me for this. I'm actually a Dak Prescott fan. I think Dak Prescott's a fine quarterback. Dak Prescott's never going to be good enough, though, to win and go the distance or do what he needs to do without the right team around him, without a good general manager making good decisions, without a strong defense, without a running game. It's football. It's not boxing. It's not tennis. It's not one-on-one. So, we talk about Jalen a lot, but again, I do think it's about the collective and the unit and the team playing. Everybody's got to play where they got to play, and I think they can have a good year, man. I really do.
I think Dak's going to have a spectacular year too. I really like what Brian Schottenheimer's done.
He's done.
He's really done a great job with that offense. Any supers here, Z? By the way, great show this morning. I watched it. Birds 365 with you and John. John's out. Boy, I'll tell you, I've never heard John. He goes, the group of wideouts, they're just guys. And, I'm going, damn.
He's calling them four.
He's calling them fours.
Fours, yeah. Here's let's go to some supers before we get these guys in there. Battle Royale. Shannon, Devin, what's up, dude? Big Z, how and when will we be getting our JAKIB tailgate tickets? Devin, I will have Krause send out an email to everybody. Normally, when you get tickets through the broker, they don't actually get them until much closer to the game. So it's not going to come, now. It'll probably become sometime early in September or leading up to the week of that game. But I'll have everybody give the rundown. I'll have him send out the email for the rundown.
The problem, real quick, the problem that Dak falls into many times in sequence? He's throwing from 3rd and 7 or 8 when he's got to make a play when you're trying to move the sticks. You got to be throwing from 3rd and 3 to 4 to keep that thing. They don't do a very good job at winning 1st and 2nd down.
That's part of the full picture of the Eagles' offense this year. Everybody.
That's right.
So I think that's a big part of it. Look, everybody's crying because I said Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Here's Bear from Philly. Sills, how come you never brought up the fact that Reyes has a man crush on Guy Fieri? He's most likely looks like the guy from Mad Magazine. Bear, what are we talking about?
Yeah, who? I don't know. Who's Guy Fieri? I don't know who he is. Who is he?
The dude with the fucking spiky hair.
Okay. Yeah, great. Sorry. I don't keep my man decoder book with me here, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about here.
All right, one more. No, never mind. No more. Jules. All right, Sills, good stuff, man.
Dude.
You got your earbuds in. Hopefully we got no echo. Our Philly and Mark looks to me. Guys, I don't know if you need earbuds for this thing to work with no echo. The StreamYard's been brutal this week.
Yeah, it really
And
has.
last week.
Absolutely. Big Zeke, keep up the great work. Hey, by the way, is it football 24/7 tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. There's no night show tonight. We had the morning show today. So
okay, so tomorrow morning you'll get that, and then Bird 365 after practice. And by the way, it's Thursday.
And then Friday back to a walkthrough game Saturday.
You got it, bro. Love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Later, big dog. Appreciate you.
Gotcha, man. That is Zander Krause. We got a lot of great things headed for the show, too, by the way. A lot of great things there, Prince. Headed for the show. All right. Without further ado, you see those Cowboys kicking the shit out of the Rams. Holy cow. And as Jimmy Johnson would say, how about them Cowboys? And on the other hand, we have our friend Philly 500 and the Philadelphia Eagles as they prep. And here the guys are. How you freaks doing? How are you guys doing? Mark Combs and, of course, Philly 500. How you guys doing?
What's up,
What's
man?
going
How
on?
you doing?
How you boys doing, man?
Great. I couldn't believe. I was like, oh my gosh, Zander took some truth serum for a little bit, and then all of a sudden he started talking about that, and the full delusion came back once again. Mark, you're winning, Mark. I think you're actually winning, though. You are rewriting the history of Dak Prescott's career. You are making it seem like he never had any good teams, and people are starting to buy your bullcrap. So you're doing a great job.
Lord.
I give you credit. Gotti Gotti's in the house.
Gotti is here. Okay.
Gotti. Why
That must
Gotti?
be Junior Gotti.
Gotti.
Tell me
Junior
why
Gotti.
Gotti.
Greatest offense there is. That's motto for this year. This season, look, greatest offense there is. Gotti.
Damn.
Look, Dak is, I tell you what, Dak is putting everything on himself. He's setting his sights out, and he is trying to motivate his players. Hey, listen, I've been in here 10 years. It's about the Super Bowl. I got my money. I got my babies. I don't have a wife. Maybe that's a good thing because, Sills, you've been married a long time. Sometimes you kind of say, okay, but he's putting it out there. This is what we're going to be about. And I'm going to say that practice yesterday was night and day different from last year. Now, before we get deep in, everybody's seen the clip of how bad that throw was from Jalen Hurts. Understand, you're not as good as you think you are, and you're not as bad as you are, because we sitting here and we talk about practice.
Boy, I'll tell you
this
one
is
thing.
coming from a guy. This is coming from a guy wearing a shirt that says Gotti, the greatest offense there is. I mean, how can you talk about being reasonable, being rational, being logical? Well, you got shirts every week about it. I mean, come on, dude.
Okay, well, don't be mad. Hey, listen.
Mark. Practice what you preach.
Hey, listen. You can go ahead and do the same thing. You can say, I got Jalen Hurts, the bus driver.
Hey, wait, Mark. That clip, that interception has got 7.6 million people
that
have viewed that thing. With
I put it on a video already.
The response to that video is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Hold it.
I mean, what's so funny? Only Jalen Hurts.
Hold up.
Only Jalen Hurts.
I noticed that I get in the green room early. I start my live stream about 10 minutes before the show because I actually love listening to you and Zander because you change when you come in here and talk to me. You end up talking some real shit there. And it's amazing how you guys are actually looking and saying, they're putting everything on Dak. It's 3rd down and 8 as opposed to where you want to be at like 3rd and 3 and having to throw. And now that Jalen hurts, when you said it's basically 4 guys, we went into a season where we had CeeDee Lamb was the only wide receiver starting the beginning of the season that actually caught a touchdown pass. We called it CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of guys. And now you guys have it. Y'all are butthurt. But this is the shit that Dak has had to deal with his whole career.
I mean,
that's just not true.
Well, wait.
Bullshit, man.
It's just not true.
So wait a minute. You got to admit, 7.6 million people are watching one clip without context of a guy getting an interception.
Yeah.
You're telling me that guy's not under the gun? Bro, that guy.
No, I'm not saying he's not under the gun. That wasn't the question. I mean, to me, I think this is why the controversy stuff never dies, because they post things like this and then people get offended that they posted something of him throwing an interception. I don't care that he threw an interception. So what? It's okay. That's practice. You're going to throw interceptions. It happens. I'm not opposed to them posting that at all.
I'm gonna put my fucking hair out. Bro, they actually counted interceptions at Dak Prescott in training camp. They had the Dak Prescott counter every freaking day in practice. And it's no big deal. And you guys were sitting there pounding on Dak Prescott about interceptions in practice.
Nobody,
not the game. Not the game.
Have you ever heard me talk about Dak Prescott throwing interceptions in practice?
Oh my God!
Who gives a shit about that?
Are you honestly telling me that you don't remember?
Change what everybody goes on. No, I think there was something where there was like a little skirmish that was kind of funny. That I posted, and then when he was doing his stupid dance,
maybe you didn't.
But that's about
the
it.
National media and everybody else.
You always change the argument for what people complain about.
Bro, they do post.
You always change the narrative, Mark.
They do post pictures of Dak throwing picks in practice. But I will say, Mark,
I don't think it's a big deal.
But Mark, and I agree with Philly right there. But Mark,
I agree. It's not a big deal.
Almost 9 million. I mean, this thing's going to get 10 million views. That hurts through a pick. My question would be this: why would the Eagles put that out there on their social media too? People are going to take a shot at them?
Yeah. Why
would they do that?
What is he? Dak Prescott? He needs to have everything perfect.
No.
Man,
hold up.
Like it's so stupid. Why not? Because Quinyon Mitchell made a play, and they wanted to show the defense make a play. I don't think that you can act like you can't show anything bad that happens on the offensive side of the ball. It's ridiculous.
Philly.
They should post it. I'm glad they posted it.
I have not seen a throw that bad since the Dallas Cowboys versus the Steelers in the Super Bowl, where Larry Brown got two of the easiest interceptions that I've ever seen in my life. Your social media, your people just made your quarterback look like shit. Whether you care about it or not, everybody's looking and now saying that guy sucks.
Yeah, but
Philly.
Inside the building. Wait a minute, Philly.
You'll all be surprised. So ridiculous.
Philly, nobody's going to take a shot, or no one's going to look at Q because Q's one of the top all-pro corners. But they are going to take a shot at Hurts because what's the one thing that people are questioning this year? If he can be in a West Coast offense, why would they
Sileo,
that?
They do it anyways. They don't need that clip to go after him. They're already doing it. And you want to say it adds fuel to the fire? Fine. Some people are going to take it like that. But if they want to put a clip of Q making a play,
8 million people have just made a big deal of it.
Hide what happens in practice now?
No.
Now we can't put out videos of interceptions because it may hurt.
Let's just move on from that.
What the hell, man?
Right.
Charmin sauce.
Everything's fine
That's
here.
Charmin and sauce shit.
Hey, Gotti.
Everything's fine in Philly.
Hey, Gotti. Let me ask you, man.
Soft. And that's why Mark and Dak Prescott's where he is, because he gets that Charmin soft treatment.
Hey, Gotti, tell me this.
They showed it.
How proud were you of your defense against the Rams in that organized team practice? How proud were you, man?
I had to cry. I was like, wait, no. You know what?
Philly's pissed.
The two things I will take away from that practice more than anything else was before the practice, Dak Prescott said, bet the clock. We gonna take their shit. Okay. All right. But I know this is just practice, but it's an attitude set. And after practice, they decide, not the coaches told them to, the players decided we're going to do sprints. And the Rams players, after getting their ass kicked, looked at them like, what are y'all doing? We're running sprints. Oh, well, this is where we done. We out of here. The fact that they actually wanted to go ahead and stay on the field and run and do more work shows you the sea change in here. And I'm going to say, shout out to Philly.
What?
No,
Wait,
hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Wait, I didn't hear what you said, though. What did you say, though? It showed the what?
It showed that they wanted to do extra work, to put the work in. But let me say, shout out to Philly, because what Christian Parker has brought to them is that Philly edge, that trash talking, that arrogance and confidence, okay? You know, there's no guarantee that they're going to be great or anything else. But see, we went from Matt Eberflus and zone defense where we were like scared little bitches to now being in your face. They ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Oh, man. The line is being drawn here already.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Mark, you're right. Your team's the greatest ever.
I didn't say that.
August.
No.
How could anybody
Philly,
how can you compete with Dallas? How can you compete with them?
Listen,
they're amazing.
You
They're
guys
amazing.
are the division champs. You're the guys we're aspiring to. But you have to admit the Cowboys are closing that gap. We're getting a little closer to you guys.
Why
I
would
didn't
I
say
believe
we're
that?
past you. We are getting closer.
Why would I?
You better
why
be
would I
looking in the
even
rear
acknowledge
mirror right
Philly.
now.
Why would I think that?
Philly.
Why would I think that?
One of the stars of camp so far has been Darius Cooper. And because of lemon meringue pie not being able to get on the field, how do you feel about this opening offensive passing attack against the Commanders? Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and Darius Cooper. How do you feel about those three there going into that football game?
If I was Mark Holmes and and Darius Cooper was on my team, I would have made 3 shirts about him already. I would be putting out the Darius Cooper shirts. But I'll tell you this, he's a player, Sills. I said this 2 years ago. He's a player. I'm so impressed and happy with what he's done. I love Devontae Smith, and I think Wicks is good. So I think that the offense will do just fine against Washington.
Okay, so
if they're not all in wheelchairs.
Well, here, what do you think the perception will be is if a UDFA beats out the 17th pick in the draft for the 3rd wide receiver hole?
Hey, I mean, I think that's going to, that's a lot of that's going to have to do with injury. It's like you're happy on one hand because I really like Cooper and I really think he's a player. But on the other hand, you hate to see Lemon, you hate to see him missing so much time and stuff. But as of right now, I hate to see that from Lemon's standpoint. But if it makes, I want the best guy on the field. So if it makes the Eagles better that I found a star in Darius Cooper, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
So you're going to put a undrafted free agent over a guy you took 4 months ago in the 1st round, and how he's going to put an undrafted free agent over Makai Lemon in the starting lineup if Lemon can go, because Cooper.
I'm not saying that he's
playing. Okay, no, I'm not. That's why I asked you if Lemon's able to go, but Cooper's had a better camp. Who should start?
In my personal opinion, I would say Cooper, but that's not how it works. I understand the NFL and they don't do that. But in my personal opinion, I play the best guy. And that's how I look at it. But they won't do that. That's not what they're going to do.
That's right.
I think
Lemon,
they're going to.
Lemon's number 3 right now.
They'll insert Lemon and they'll give him so much time, and then eventually Cooper just keeps doing his thing. He'll get a shot. But in my opinion, though, I don't care about that. I just care about putting the best guys on the field from my standpoint of fan.
How's Guyton looking so far in camp?
Guyton's looking pretty good. Terrence Steele looked like some ass. Terrence Steele was basically the really sour note that we had. But Guyton has been definitely better than he was last year. But his question is really just staying healthy. And he's had a little bit of an elbow issue where he missed a practice or two.
Philly, how do you think the offense so far? And personally, I'm going to start here with this. So it's not going to be anything about Hurts. I think Hurts actually has been working on a lot of things. I think he's been working on a lot of new things. But when I hear people say this, the offense has looked pretty decent in camp. You haven't had Lane Johnson for a week. You haven't had Devontae Smith for a week and a half. There's no Lemon. How are you building continuity up if you're not with those players and Lane just came back? So you tell me as a unit, it's 34 days away for the starting game against the Commanders. 34 days. Are you okay with where you are right now in camp?
Well, I mean, I want to see those guys out on the field. I mean, there's no question about it that from a continuity standpoint and playing together reps, yeah, it affects you, and it's going to affect them if this thing goes into halfway through training camp. But at the same time, I still think the positives on this team so far are outweighing the negatives by a lot. What's
Stowers' role going to be?
Well, it looks like, hopefully he was going to be a second tight end, but I mean, I don't think he's really been that great so far. So I don't know how you necessarily put him there. Can he block? I don't know. From what I hear, no. It sounds like he's really a work in progress, really.
Mark, one of the greatest parts of the Philadelphia Eagle defense is the depth at linebacker they have. And I'll ask you about your depth at linebacker. That's a concern for me, is your depth at linebacker. How do you feel about it?
We're still trying to figure it out. I'm worried about that. You don't have a lot of experience. You've got Overshone, who can play great. I'm not sure that he's going to be the blue dot because I worry about his size and I worry about him actually getting injured. Barham, who seemingly looked really great to start, his team's kind of come back to earth. He's had a little bit of a groin issue and things and such. But this is where you wonder, Jerry Jones has been saying that, the way he feels about this team, that he is looking to make a trade and things, and who knows what they may do. I think that they are going to be trying to bring in somebody. They said that they're not interested at the moment for Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, but I think that they're looking for somebody big, and they're looking to make a big move and a splash. What
was your takeaway, Philly, on Lane saying that this will most likely be his final season?
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. I was hoping to get a couple more years out of him, but sounds like, he needed to say that to be able to focus on this last year. We knew that was coming soon. So hopefully he just goes out, stays healthy, and has a great year. He still can play. There's no question.
Quarterback 2 battle seems to be a pretty good talking point going on in Cowboy camp right now. Who do you think ends up rearing their head there as a starter at CB2?
I'm going to say it's going to be Sam Howell. And here's the thing, Milton, everybody gets wowed by he can throw the ball 80 yards downfield. Yeah, and then when you get a touch pass, he can throw the ball 80 yards downfield. Sam Howell, and here's where
cornerback 2. Cornerback 2.
Oh, cornerback 2.
Yeah, then I'll ask you about quarterback 2.
My bad.
CB2. Who do you think ends up winning that job?
Right now, Deron Bland is slotted to be number 1. You've got the way they're looking at this, you're going to almost look at most of the guys as a multi-tool piece, okay? You're going to have Caleb Downs, who's going to play some safety. He's going to play some in the slot. They're rotating everybody in there. But I think Kobe Durant, I think, is going to be the number 2 there.
Hey, who starts this weekend for you, Philly? What's happened to Tanner McKee in that building, man? It doesn't seem like they're very high on the guy anymore. And it seems like they're really somehow, it looks like Andy Dalton is like the number 2 guy. Who gets to start this weekend? Or maybe even Cole Payton maybe gets a lot of reps. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure he will. But, I'm a believer that the starters should start. I would like to see Hurts play and the starters, draw a series or 2 would be nice. I think you need the reps, but that's not going to happen most likely. I don't know. They've kind of been back and forth with the starting one day Tanner, one day Dalton. So, it's hard to tell, really. But I do think that Washington game was a mistake where they sat. Remember, they sat. They sat Hurts and the starters, and then they put him out there thinking they're going to showcase him. Well, they didn't really have a great game. I think that hurt him. I think that whole decision to just give up on going after the second seed hurt them. And I don't think Tanner played great that game, and I think it hurt maybe his stock.
Hey, Mark, do you think that Christian Parker is going to manufacture pressure? You think he's going to rely on the front seven? Is he going to be aggressive? Is he not going to be aggressive?
Oh, he's going to be very aggressive.
One of the issues that I had with the team a year ago, obviously, when you move off of Micah Parsons, you need to get some pressure. And I'm going to tell you this one more time. Everybody in here, they hate when I say this. Bro, you have a better roster. I didn't say a better team. You have a better roster without Micah Parsons so far in the last year and a half. There's just better players on it. But how are you going to manufacture that pressure?
Here's the thing is, and Sills, it's the whole front right there. Okay. So with Quentin Williams, who's going to be able to get a push with Abinya in the middle, he's the big fat guy that, 350 pounds, and Kenny Clark in a rotation. When you think about what we had before last year, we had, Osa was in there. God, I can't remember his name. We traded him to the Texans, but you didn't have anybody over 300 pounds. You now have a big front that's going to be able to push that offensive line back. And when you can push that offensive line back, those edge rushers don't have to be quite as good. See, before it was Micah Parsons with nobody in the middle, quarterbacks could step up. The fact that he was able to get 12 sacks a season is a credit to how good he was. But collectively, the rest of that defense sucked. And you're right. This defense is collectively more talented and better players overall. You don't have a player of Micah Parsons' ilk per se, but everybody else has stepped up, and that's where I think that you're going to be good. And with this defense, they're going to be more aggressive. It's not going to be a read and react. We're coming after you right now, and we're going to bludgeon you.
I'll tell you what. How about this here for you here? Holmes, your football team right now is worth $15.58 billion. It's the number one. It's the one franchise in the world. It's the richest franchise in the world, and you guys haven't been to an NFC championship game.
Ain't been in the playoffs in 2 years.
30 years. And you haven't been a playoff team, Philly. 2 years. How are the Dallas Cowboys worth the most money of any franchise on the planet?
I'll tell you very easily. It's proof that it's being a couch potato fan like the Cowboys is a DNA problem. It's passed down from the father to the son. I mean, Mark, your dad was a Cowboy fan, right?
Yeah, rest his soul.
And you're definitely a moron. So there you go.
Okay,
hey,
we can tell that you're worried because you're deflecting there, Philly.
Hey,
you're
wait, get this. By the way, Mark,
the Cowboys, they're bandwagon fans. They've always been the majority of them.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Let's stop that right now.
As long as I've been alive.
There is no bandwagon. There is nothing to cheer about. It hasn't been for 30 years. If you were sitting here saying you are a diehard Cowboy fan and you told people last year you're a Cowboy fan, that's not a bandwagon fan. You are dying with those mother humpers, okay?
No, you're not.
I was here. I was here win, lose, draw every fucking year. There is no bandwagon, at least not
No, you know why? You know why that's not true? Because you guys have one argument that you think is the trump card of all trump cards. Well, we got 5 rings. So you get a lot of bandwagon people who just want to win the argument and the conversation of we've got 5 rings. So they have no problem following Dallas.
That I lived all 5 of those.
Somebody answer the question then here. I mean, get this, the team goes up in value. What is it, 21%? Almost 25% every year. Jerry Jones's value of that football team goes up, and he's won 4 playoff games since 2000. Philly, how's that possible? How can that brand and that star be worth so much money? And the Eagles are where are you guys here on this list?
Well, the devil is very powerful. The devil is very powerful. That satanic star, it's got power. I mean, what do you want me to say? You can't tell me that the biggest bandwagon fans in the world are Cowboy fans. They've been like that forever. And I think it's because of the amount of Super Bowls that they won. People like them because of that, because they can then say, well, my team has this many rings.
Wait. If that's the case, then why isn't New England?
Well, I think New England is on its way. I mean, I think you've seen that from New England.
Sorry.
How many growing up? How many New England fans were there?
New England is
there wasn't many.
Right,
there wasn't many, and now look at how big they are nationally.
They're still not anywhere close to what the Cowboys are.
Mark, why do you think the Cowboys are the richest football? Wait, I'll take that back. Why are the Cowboys the most valued sports franchise on the planet?
Jerry Jones is a marketing genius, and he knows drama sells. Now, here's the problem for the Cowboys is we don't have that drama right now. We don't. Typically, remember last year? It was less than a year ago.
So you're saying the Eagles have it?
Eagles have it now, so maybe their value will go up. But now you got to win. Because Jerry Jones is not out here circumcising a mosquito and glory hole days, and we're all no, he's not putting in the drama like it was. We don't have holdouts. We got no excuses right now. We have to win.
Right now. Well, they're coming. Don't worry.
Okay. Can I speak, son? Can I speak?
I know what you mean.
Why are you always disrespecting your father?
This guy's nuts. I just know how your mind works. I know the words you say. I know when you say them, and I know they have meaning, and they mean certain things that people don't catch. I catch them. I catch them, and I'm way ahead of you. You said right now because
Mark throws out lures. Is that what Mark does? He throws out little lures for people to latch on to?
Oh yeah.
Wait till December.
Mark, could this possibly be the greatest year in Dak Prescott's career?
You mean numbers-wise?
Winning-wise.
I mean, you've had a 13-3 season, but it needs to be playoff success.
How is that?
Here's the reality. Okay, he's 4 touchdowns away from having the touchdown record. He already has the yardage record. The only one he doesn't have is the interceptions. He's way down on that for the Cowboys. All of that is great and wonderful, but none of it means shit if he does not win a Super Bowl in his career. That's the bottom line. And he recognizes that himself, and that's why he has no problem saying this needs to be about the Super Bowl. And people, I'm getting Eagle fans, he needs to shut his mouth. He needs to shut. It doesn't matter what Dak Prescott says. If he doesn't say we're going to the Super Bowl, he's just happy about getting paid. He's just happy to be in the NFL. So he realizes it doesn't matter what the fuck I say. So I'm going to put it out there. Here's what I am going for. This is what I want to be about. All you motherfuckers out here, I've been here and seeing everybody go by. I understand how short your career is. You want to be something, it's about a fucking Super Bowl, and you better get your head out your ass, and be about that.
I think he's talking to you.
Wait, get this.
I think he's talking to you, Mark. Stop making excuses for me. Hold me accountable. That's what he's saying.
I just posted this. Why in God's name would you show your quarterback throwing a pick? And get this, it's now at 8.9 million people have seen Jalen Hurts throwing a pick in a meaningless practice.
You need me to send you some Charmin?
Charmin.
Charmin.
Man. I'm just trying to figure out why.
Charmin.
I'm just trying to figure out why you make your quarterback look like shit.
Well, I don't think that it is to make the quarterback look like shit, but because people want to always go after Hurts at all costs, they're going to use it against them. But you think that because of that, the Eagles should what? Okay. They should hide him from it.
You know what it is, Phil? Actually, I know.
Put it out there.
I know exactly what it is they're doing.
There's 100 plays you could put up there from your.
Put it out there.
They put
that in those 100 plays were an interception.
You got it wrong. They
How many were
recognize
interception?
Jerry Jones throws his players under the bus, and he's worth $15 billion. Maybe we need to do the same thing.
Man.
But you guys don't throw anybody over the bus. You can't even hold your quarterback responsible for a playoff game. You talk about the Green Bay game, but that didn't play good. And then it's, there was a lot of penalties. I mean, you guys always have an excuse. I don't want Hurts treated like that.
Mark,
Hurts is a big boy. He can take it.
Two last ones here,
We ain't
right?
soft.
Okay.
This goes to Philly. How do you feel running the Green Bay offense?
I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the things that we've seen. Yeah.
So you think the Green Bay offense has been a high-powered offense the last couple of years?
No, that wasn't the question. You asked how I feel about running the Green Bay offense. I'm okay with it. I'm excited. It can't be worse than last year. I mean, I like the things they're doing. Under center, roll Hurts out, short passing game. I'm okay with that. You want to throw it over the middle? Okay. You want to call that Green Bay? Great.
Well, it is. I mean,
sounds good.
That to me means that the tight end has got it because that thing's set up for Tucker Kraft. It's not set up for those perimeter wideouts. Those guys, I can't think the last time a wide receiver had 1,000 yards, Mark, in Green Bay.
No,
this is more about the tight end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right, Mark? This is more about the tight end, right?
Yeah.
All right. I got to tell you, man, best roster you've had in a little bit here. Got to pay it off, though, in September and in the fall, Mark.
Yep.
Got to pay it off. But, hey, you feel good about kicking the shit out of the Rams, right?
I'd rather have that happen than what happened last year where we got our teeth kicked in. So, yeah, it's a start. But, again, I keep telling people, pump the brakes. We're only talking about practice. And here's the thing that I will say is the Rams look at themselves and say, we were at the NFC Championship game last year. We got Myles Garrett. We got all kinds of players. So, they feel good about themselves. The Cowboys are the ones that are hungry to try and show that they're better than what they were. And that's what you may have seen. A team that was just like, it's fucking training camp practice. I don't give a fuck.
You know what next week is, right? It's A.J. Brown week.
Yeah, I know. We better be fighting. That'll be a whole other thing.
Hey,
Mark just cracks me up, man.
Why'd it crack you up?
We
man?
can't. It's only practice. But let me go print out a bunch of T-shirts on training camp so far.
Tell the folks again what Gotti means, man. I love that actually.
Right there. Greatest offense there is.
Greatest practice.
Hey.
You can't say that about your team.
What's that?
Hey, will you be
can't
able
say
to
about your offense?
No, hey, our practices have been good. What are you talking about? I think Hurts has done great in practice. I think the offense has done well. I'm very happy where they're at right now. There's more positives than negatives right now.
What you guys need to do is check and see if the Lemon Law applies to NFL players.
Since the guy that team hasn't won in 30 years, your whole franchise is a Lemon Law.
Dude,
come on now.
It's now at 9 million views. Hurts throwing a pick.
Damn. That shit's gone viral,
and it means absolutely nothing. It means nothing.
Man, why would you do that? Why would you put that up there like that? Come on, Philly.
I think that's so. I'm surprised you said that, Sills.
Wait,
that's Starman soft.
Wait,
what do you mean? Put it out there, man. The guy made a play in practice.
8.3 million people,
bro.
You know what? It's not clip. It's not the clip that people are watching. It's all the people that are talking about it.
Come on, man.
I mean, it's all the people that are trying to make something out of nothing. That's creating it going viral because everybody wants to see what they're talking about. That's what it is. And to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm glad the Eagles put it out there. I'm glad.
Well, just Mark, Philly, just a couple DraftKings on the post of the interception. Jalen Hurts, when he sees this post, delete this. Everyone on defense would love to have Jalen Hurts having to throw the ball all game. Awesome highlight.
Who said that? Who's saying that?
These are random comments.
Yeah. Because that's what they want. They want to be able to talk trash about him. So that gives them another 2 weeks.
Cowboy fans, with a blue dot. Eagle fans, what's up? Why would you show this? Here's another one. I mean, not your usual defensive highlight.
Now we're gonna censor training camp. Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's what I want my team to do. Censor training camp. So a guy makes a bad play and I can't see it now. I mean, come on.
All right.
This is the Charmin sauce, Sills.
I thought you were there to promote your guys, not denigrate your guys. But hey, you know
they're
what?
showing a good play your defensive player made.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
And you guys trying to create. See, this is what I'm saying. They want to create something on Hurts, no matter what it is.
Well, 9
and
million
this is
people
once again
are what?
another.
9
Yeah,
million
because people are going on there crying, oh, look, Hurts can't throw, and trying to start controversy. It was a good catch by Quinion Mitchell. Can we just leave it at that? It's friggin' training camp.
You're right. You're right, Philly. Hey, Gotti, I appreciate you. It's going to be one wild year. Come on, Philly. It's only an interception in practice. What do you think I am, ESP? I'm not ESP. I don't give a shit. I care more about the views. Yeah. All right, fellas. How many videos do you think today here, Philly, for Gotti?
Probably 8. Imagine. I'm guessing 3 have been done. He'll do one on Hurts interception, and he'll probably do a couple on those.
I already did one on Hurts interception.
That's I already knew that.
That's already done.
Oh my God, you guys! I love both you dudes, man. Thank you so much, Philly 500. You're awesome, Mark. Appreciate you as much, man. Thank you so much, guys. All good, man.
Peace.
All good. All good. Yes, sir, boy. You didn't know what I meant. Reyes puts up a picture of Guy LaFleur from dinners. Yeah, no, I don't know that guy. So hang on here. By the way, thank you for the super. So let me read this thing here that's getting incredible traction. So wait a minute. Right on cue. That's what the Eagles have this thing posted at. 8.4 million now. Amber, 8's jersey, should have Hollywood on the back and not Brown for anyone with PTSD. Just an idea. DraftKings commented. Jalen Hurts, when he sees this post, delete this. Let's see here. Here's another one. Why would you post this? Of QB1 throwing a pick. Wild. Eagle fans with Obama as a GIF. What's up? Let's see here. Let me see any more. Eagle social media intern. Do you know what you're doing? It's preseason. Every quarterback throws INTs. At least show it from Q's viewpoint, not QB1's viewpoint. Jalen Hurts throwing a meatball subs in practice. You throw enough seeds, one might land in the wrong garden. Okay? Boy still sucks over the middle. By the way, I don't give a shit. Let's see here. Did the Eagles official account just subtweet Jalen Hurts? You're a highlight of a pick. Oh, my God. Yeah, I could see he's still great over the middle. A.J. Brown still got the social media password. Jesus criminy. Diva Jake Tapper. What's this? Oh, my God. 2026. Shittiest offense there is. What the hell? Woo! That was AJ posting that Jalen Hurts pick in practice. Hey, Senor, I'm with you. I don't give a shit about it. It's not a take. I have no take. I don't care. I think it's wild that the number one thing that is trending on the Eagles' social media page is Jalen Hurts throwing a pick. That shows you what. Here, let's hear here. I'll show you the other numbers. Let's see. I really like this JC and Jordan Davis twist and this T stunt that they did in practice today. That is a really exceptional inside pass rush move. Jordan Davis gets both guys moving to their left, and it creates traffic there. They both get knocked into one another, and Carter gets freed. That's a really great stunt. I'm going to have to tell Clint that. And he does it on a spin. That's really good, man. That thing got 88,000. The Hurts pick. Let's see. I got to refresh. Let's see here. 8.4. Got another one with some kids out there, which is really cool. 133,000. Another one, 115,000. Caught him off guard. There's Zach Bond. 70K players speaking yesterday. Got another drill, 89K. And you got 8.5. Is it 8.5 now? $8.4 million people have watched Jalen Hurts throw a pick in practice. Instead of prevent offense, because we actually have some success compared to last year. Sills, would you have to see to start sweating your record prediction? Probably week 7, 8. If they're like, you're seeing like the offense being balanced and then not going, and it's all going to come down to the run game. If the run game, here, to your answer, Curtis, if your run game's back, not your passing game, if you run the ball in the first part of the season and you're running the ball effectively, that's when you start sweating it. Every year you have the same shit takes, talking shit every year, except for one. I've been right. Right in 22, 21, 23, nuclear meltdown. 24, I was wrong, no question. 25, dead on. 11 wins and bounced. I did pick the Commanders to win the East, but again, like I said, 11 wins and bounced in the opening round. One and done. That's what happened. Come on, America. Make the Hurts interception go viral. Yeah, if they're running the ball in the first part of the year and it's effective and they're getting over 4.5 to 4.8 a carry, Curtis, then I would start sweating that prediction. No, not you. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad, bootleg. Eagles planting a seed to get rid of Hurts next year. I don't think you're anywhere in that room, dude. Okay? Sills will be gobbling down a lot of crow by Thanksgiving with his 8-9 cupcake prediction. Okay? Let's see it. Prove me wrong. I can't wait to see it. Bro, you think you hired great people at wideout. I think you hired okay guys. There's nobody exceptional in your wide receiving core except for Devontae. The rest of them guys are dudes. You're making it seem that Hurts is going to elevate those guys, all of them. Okay, let's see it. you say you're not an Eagle hater. I don't give a shit about any NFL team. Okay? Dude, I'm talking about what I don't think that team's going to do offensively. I don't hate them. And what's the one side of the football team? Angelo needs a reach around here, so I'll give it to him. What's the one side of the football team that we don't talk about that I think is going to be well? That's your defense. There's two parts of your football team I don't talk about. Your run game, because I think there's a chance it could be good, and your defense. When you don't hear me addressing things like that, you know I think they're good. Coaches address things that aren't good, guy. There, Angelo. You feel a little better about yourself? Jesus criminy. Talk about a guy who needs to have it back of his neck slapped. Make himself feel good. What do you need? Your fanny rubbed too? I got to feel good about, man. You think you're right. Hey, I mean, seriously, guy. How many number one wideouts do you need to win 9 ball games, Sills? Well, you needed 2 last year. You had 2 number ones. You won 11. Now you don't have any except for 1. I have faith in the defense. The offense is questionable. Sue, that's where I'm at. But some of these guys in here need to have like reach arounds. Hey, wait, talking bad about my offense. Well, your offense has not been very good for 2 years. I'm not sure what else to say. Oh, and by the way, again, it's more so your passing game hasn't been good in 2 years. The run game hasn't been good. Well, not up to snuff. 1 year in the last 5 years. No, what's crazy? People act like if Hurts fails, the world ends. As if Howie wouldn't put us in position to win a Super Bowl as soon as possible. He would. He would. Howie's not. That's the one thing you're not going to have. Look at what he did with Carson Wentz. Dude, that's actually bootleg a great point. If Hurts bombs this year, they're going to move fast. They're not going to meander into an offseason debating anything. They're moving because they're not giving that guy $63 million. But, and that goes into the question I asked. If Jalen is doing so well, why don't you give him the money now? Hey, Sue, if he's doing so well now, why don't you give him the money? If things are going well and he's picking things up, he looks faster. You got Jeremy Fowler saying he looks like a different Hurts. Why don't you give him the money now? Why don't you give him a new contract? That would put stability, like maybe for potential free agents in the upcoming offseason to want to come and play with Jalen if they knew he had a long-term contract. Why not give him the money now? Why wouldn't you do that? If things are going as well as you guys say, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They want to see first, Sills. Well, no, wait. I thought he was doing great in practice. Everybody's saying he's picking up the new offense. Looks younger. The way he's running around. Looks faster. Picking up things. Throwing across the middle of the field. Why don't you give him the contract then? Surely he's earned the benefit of the doubt. No? Hopefully for Eagle fans, Lane Johnson has a great year for you. As Sills knows, once a player starts talking retirement, usually doesn't go good after that. Hopefully for the Eagles, Lane is different. Yes. I think he really thought about not coming back. And he said, I'm going to do this one more year. He prepped for the year, so he said, let me finish it. Would think they'd sign Hurts now because you know what you have with him. Right. They don't sound fully committed. What? Well, wait. Let's just go by what you guys get this. Let's go by what you guys are saying. He's playing well. He's doing everything well. Why don't you give him the contract? Why don't you give him the deal? Because if he picks it up, like everybody says he's going to, I mean, it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you $6.65 million. Why not? Agreed. I don't think you can judge off a training camp, Sills. You got to let him put it on tape for 17 weeks. He has always flashed. It's consistency that has struggled with. Let's wait and see. Bootleg, that's a spectacular truth pill right there on Jalen Hurts. That's exactly who that player is. He has flashed many times. He's never been consistent outside of 22. You're right. Why should we have to fully commit until he puts a season together, showing him he handles this new offense? We see 17 weeks of it. Okay? So they're not sold then on what they're seeing. All right. Here, Ramir. Why would they give him the money now from one training camp in the new offense that just like saying why we ain't paying him last year when he had no picks? Hold on, Ramir. I'm saying if everything's going well and everything looks great, what he's done in the past and what he's doing now, why don't you get ahead of the game? It'll be cheaper now than in March of next year. Why not give him the money now? If you're so sold that he's the future, why not give it to him? Why not? Right before the start of the season. Here, Jalen. Here's a new 3-year contract at $60 million. I don't know if he's going to make more than Mahomes. He's not Mahomes. I mean, why not? Right? Is it the money? Do they want to save 60 to 65 and get a rookie or a stopgap? That saves money. They're so they can do other stuff. Dude, all I'm saying is if everybody's so sold, why not give them the money? Because we haven't seen him in this new. Wait, no. So far, coaches are saying he's doing well. Everyone's saying he's having a great camp. It looks like he's picking up the offense. Why don't you pay him now and get ahead of it? No. By the way, I would have waited on Carter. But hey. And by the way, I love everyone now saying they wouldn't have waited on Carter when everyone was saying they would have, and they were on the Eagles side. Now, people are flip-flopping. What am I want to do? Change my position because they signed him? No, I would have waited. Like when everyone else was in the same boat. And then everyone goes, of course you wouldn't have. Well, you wouldn't have either because you said it. There's a world where he's not MVP, but really good. And that determines the AAV, annual, yes. And maybe it's not the highest paid. Yes. Not me. I said sign him at training camp, and they did. Gotcha. Hey, then Philly. Then let's sign Hurts now. Let's get ahead of it. Why wouldn't you sign Hurts? Hurts has done more than Jalen Carter has. Has he not? He's done more than Jalen Carter. And basically, he makes $12 million less. This guy makes almost as much as a starting quarterback. Why wouldn't you pay Jalen now? He's got a better resume, more important position. Why wouldn't you pay him? Well, the plan has always been after the season. Hold on, the plan's changed, dude. So here's your plan now. Here's Philly's plan. Jalen Hurts signed after the season a new $60 million a year contract. Q, a new $30 million. Cooper, let's just round it off to 30. Okay? And if, to Philly's point, if Devontae Smith plays well, you're not going to readdress making him the lowest paid number one receiver in pro football and put him up there near $40 million? If this guy has 1,400 yards, you don't think his agent's going to be on the horn? The cap goes up 21 or 18%. It don't go up enough to cover that, dude, and I'll show you how. Hold on. So wait a minute. Cooper, Q, Jalen. I guess Jomo. He's going to be 25. Guy's going to Super Bowl. Jalen's son. He's going to be up near 25, 30 million. Who else? Tyler Steen? What are you paying for him? Especially if the run game gets going. You paying him another 20? Okay. Hey, what are you doing with Zach Bond? Are you extending him or are you letting him walk? Zach Bond's going to want 25. Going to let him walk? He's a free agent. What are you doing with Tariq Woolen? You going to let him walk out too? All right. Guy has a great year. He's led the NFL in interceptions. So let's see here. What I've just added up here, there's 90. There's 120. There's another 50, excuse me. That's 175. There's another 30. That's 235. Excuse me, 205. And then another 50. So you're going to sign nearly $300 million in contracts, plus dudes you have on the team currently. You think your salary cap's $500 million next year? It ain't that, my friends. You got a lot of tough decisions to make. Yeah. A Jomo, Steen. I guess Goddard's walking. Lane's walking. Then you got to pay the quarterback 60. Okay. Woo. You're going to lose more good players than you're going to keep. You see that, right? Where's Lamar and Dak's contract you've been talking about? Dak makes $60 million. And Lamar will have one before the start of the season. Ravens already addressed it. Dak's the second highest paid player in the league right now. Makes $5.5 million more than Jalen. That goes to show you all that money. We got a lot of good players on the defense. It's a good problem to have. It's a problem why you've lost good players. Bro, hey, like I said, what are you going to do with Jordan Mailata's deal? Landon Dickerson's deal? Saquon Barkley's deal? You still got to pay them guys. Plus, you're paying Davis and Carter now. The great Dak makes $60 million passing out Gotti shirts. How you doing? We got Trotter and Campbell and Munden and Chance Campbell. So you're going to let an all-pro linebacker walk out the door for Trotter. Okay. Why not give – okay, so you don't want to give him the contract now. All right. Shit, if I'm committed to somebody, I'm committed to you now. Oh, no. I know you can't keep everyone. Sills, I was a wait on Carter guy, but they know where he is at a lot more than I do. Them paying him tells me his shoulder's okay and they trust him to perform. Oh, yeah. All that character stuff we all talked about and everyone else has talked about and the injuries, it's a non-factor now. I don't want to hear one person, not one person, bring up injuries or character with Carter ever again because the Eagles addressed it. They don't have a problem with it. And if something happens where character or injuries happen, that's on them. Hate to say it, but Ajomo isn't re-signed. Also, keep in mind we have 3 first-round picks. Okay, well, if the Makai Lemon thing hasn't made you concerned at all, that when you pick somebody, not necessarily that stock is going to go up. Your first 2 picks in this draft have uninspiring starts so far. That doesn't mean that stock won't eventually go up. Especially in a good organization like Philly. There's a chance it will. Got to see what Hurts does this season first. Oh, so you're not completely committed to him then, right, Sue? Anybody who says this comment is not completely committed to somebody. I want to see what he does. It's kind of what the Buccaneers are doing to Baker. Right? They offered Baker a 2-year contract extension. Baker said no at 50. Okay? Sue's not. Okay. Let's see here. Hold on here. Jason. No, Sills, we're not. Okay. Hey, I'm not saying it's a wrong take. That's business, okay? So you're not sold on Hurts. Or you'd pay him. Okay. Not a problem there with Howie, we trust. Sills, if Dak has a good year in the playoffs, I guarantee Jerry will look to extend Dak to free up salary cap space to keep Pickens and other contracts coming due. If that team wins 12 games and they get to the second round, Dak Prescott will be the highest paid quarterback in pro football. No. I wouldn't do it. I'm asking you why you wouldn't. Hold on, Jimbo. No. Here, I'll clarify for you, kid, in case you didn't hear. No, I wouldn't. But why wouldn't you if you're such a supporter? No. Oh yeah, Sills. Okay. We give Hurts a contract tomorrow, and you're going to be ripping us for 4 hours for the next week. No, what I would say to you is you believe in him, and you think I've never been the guy that said that I would give him another extension. I would never do that. Have you not heard me say that? Do you not know where I stand? I would never put that guy in a $60 million room. And I would never extend him. What are you missing? If Hurts is god-awful, there's a ton of quarterbacks to go after. Burrow might want out. would you really want a quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts that can't stay upright? Joe Burrow might not be my guy. Here's the boxes you have to check. Hurts is well-liked. He's won. And he's pretty durable. Something Burrow hasn't been in his career. Hasn't been. Is Burrow the guy, really? I don't know if he's the guy. Let me take a look over here. Where's that thing up to? Holy shit, it's 8.9 million. Throwing the pick in practice. I think how he figures out his offensive skill position drafting struggles. I think how he figures out his offensive skill position drafting struggles. He's too good to let that continue happening. Howie Roseman has not been a very good drafter at wide receiver except for Devontae Smith. What are you talking about? You couldn't name me another guy. I personally want the Eagles to give Hurts a record-setting contract. Cowboy fans would be elated because we know that Hurts is and how to defend him. Well, you do, to some extent. Pick a lane, though. You've gone on and on about New England moving on from people, but now, no. New England never made any football player in their entire 19 years in New England the highest paid player at any position in the Belichick-Brady era. Not one. There was never a record-setting deal for any football player in that organization. Never did you go to New England to be the highest paid player, not even the quarterback. And that's how they were able to keep everyone. Nobody was paid record-setting deals. And when someone wanted money, they moved them. When Stephon Gilmore wanted money, they moved him. When Revis wanted money, they moved him. When Richard Seymour wanted money, they moved him. Every guy, when it came to Deion Branch, they moved him. Every single player in New England during that time, they never in a million years made anybody the highest paid ball player. That's why they were able to keep the collective together. And that's why they won. And they had a balanced cap. They never ended up having to lose a ton of guys because you know why? They kept the collective together. That's what Kansas City's doing. When Snead needs to be moved, when Honey Badger needs to be moved, when all the rest of these guys need to be moved, Orlando Brown, they moved them. When you do that, you are two bad drafts from a losing team. They fucking had 20 years of success doing that. What are you talking about? New England just went through 20 years of success. And then they had 3 down years and now they're back in the Super Bowl again. What are you talking about? Stephon Diggs, they move off his ass. Dumb can you get? New England, at no time in the Belichick era did they ever have the highest paid player at any position, including Randy Moss. That was never a factor in New England, money. Dude, they traded Gilmore to fucking Carolina. I'll cross the quarterback replacement plan if the season goes to... Dude, you're nowhere near that, though. Hey, yeah, I'm not talking... Wait. I'm talking about paying the guy now since things are going so well. Okay? 20 years of success, then you wouldn't shit on Sirianni ever because he succeeded just as much as those. You think 5 years versus 20? Only in Reyes' brain would that work. Only in Reyes' brain. Every year under Belichick and Brady, every other year they were in the Super Bowl. Only in a guy's mind like that, which 5 versus 20 work. Why wasn't Josh Allen recruited to Alabama, Ohio State, and Michigan? Because he was missed in the draft process. The same reason why Q was missed. What happened to Quinyon Mitchell? Okay. Actually, the big piece was Belichick. Belichick drafted Brady. Belichick drafted all those guys and found free agents like Amendola and Edelman. And remember something. Remember what they gave up for Randy Moss to the Raiders? A 6th rounder out of Syracuse. They never paid for Moss. All those reclamation projects, they didn't pay money for Junior Seau and for Rodney Harrison. They gave them 1-year deals. Every other year, Winnipeg in the Super Bowl. And that's not bad over the last 4 years. They did it for 20. I'm not buying this plan all along bullshit. If Hurts played better than last year, he'd already have a new contract. It's a great take. You could tell Philly 500 that. If Hurts had played spectacular last year and they had gone to the NFC title game, he'd have a contract. Seals, what the F is Reyes talking about trying to really compare Sirianni one-on-one in a Super Bowl with a 15-16 record to a guy with 6 Super Bowls and few games away from the all-time wins list? I don't know. We can replicate the Patriot year with Burrow. I don't agree, like we've been saying for years before the 2027 season will be extended. Okay. So they're going to wait until after this year to see what he does. Or, wait a minute, Philly, do you think that's a foregone conclusion? No matter how he plays this year. I should have asked you that today, bro. Philly. No, so it's a foregone conclusion that no matter what Hurts does this year, he's getting his extension, right? So no matter what he does, he's getting extended. Because, okay, so they're sticking with the plan. No matter what happens, if it's bad, good, whatever, he's getting extended. Okay. So Philly 500's on the record. Even if the guy plays poorly, he's getting extended. Okay. That's a bold take. I like it, actually. I get it, Philly, unless injuries or something like that. No. I think it's a great take. Stick to it. That's a good take. Although I agree with your take on New England, Sills, I don't think we have to take it with a grain of salt. Remove Beatty from the equation. Their success changes. Look how long it took before getting good. My friend, name me a quarterback who did Bill Walsh have as his quarterback? He had Joe Montana. Who did Chuck Noll have as his quarterback? He had Terry Bradshaw. Look at Chuck Noll's record without Terry Bradshaw. It's under 500. Here's another one. The only coach that could ever you hang your hat on that wasn't relying on a quarterback was Joe Gibbs, who had 3 different quarterbacks. Every single coach who had a great run for his Super Bowls had a great quarterback. I mean, every one of them. Who did Jimmy have? He had Aikman. You take Aikman away, and I mean, dude. And by the way, when Troy Aikman ended up not having, again, the year after Switzer, when he had all those other quarterbacks, coaches, and all those other coaches, how did Aikman do after when Jimmy's reign ended there in Dallas? How did he do? I know the Switzer thing, but Switzer said, I just don't want to fuck it up. How did Aikman do without him? My husband loves Young in Montana. We are huge Bill Walsh fans. My father-in-law in Poland started watching football, and he's a big Bill Walsh fan. Pretty good. Bill Walsh was one of the greatest people I've ever had in my studio. And when I was on in San Francisco at KMBR, he used to come in, and we would sit there for about an hour and a half of my show. And this was usually during like training camp heading into a season. And he would break down what they were trying to do offensively. I forget who they went into some bums with Mariucci. And there were some bums at the end. Jim Drunkenmiller. There were some, man, they really went to some stiffs after Young retired. There was some bad quarterbacking. Carmazzi, Jim Drunkenmiller. There were some poor dudes, man. Let's see here. Do you really have faith in this new OC that as things go bad early, he'll have the know-how to rein it in? I think Nick's going to pull it, Kellen Moore. Elvis Gerbach, all them bums. Patriots played all those years in a cupcake division and almost always had home field advantage. Okay, so let's put this together here. So he says they played in a shitty division. Well, they beat you in a Super Bowl. And you came back and got them. They won 6 up there. They are 35-16 in the postseason. They did have to go through Manning and Roethlisberger. I mean, bro, what is it with you here? You're another guy. I don't get it. Just comes in here to think that, I mean, I can't believe I even gave this guy 4 seconds of my life. It's almost like I wish to God for every second I gave Reyes a second of my life, I could get it back. I'll never get it back. Nicole Lynn will not let Hurts play next year with no guaranteed money left on his contract. It will be interesting to see who wins that situation. I can't wait. Seriously, dude. I gave that guy more time of me, and I wish I had every second back of it so I could add it to my life. So here's an inflammatory question. The Eagles' offense was ranked 24th with Hurts last year. What would have been ranked with Jacoby? 25th? I don't know. And no AJ. I don't see Hurts handcuffing himself to any players that's descending or mid or not giving us a chance to win a Super Bowl. I see Hurts possibly getting traded if he's, bro, we're not even there though, man. Vic said Jalen has had different coordinators, but the system has been the same. He said this is a totally different system for Jalen. He looks good. Well, then extend him. Give him the money. Everything. Truth hurts sometimes, Reyes. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here, honey. Thanks for showing up. Really. Means a lot to me, sweetheart, that you're here. No way hurts. Dude. Traded. What are we talking about here? I asked you about extending him. I'm not talking about anything else. Trading him. Benching him. Nobody on this network has ever said that. And nobody ever will. That's not going to happen. So I take 3 to 5 year rebuild after my quarterback leaves over a 25 to 35 year drought any day of the week. Hey, here, let me I want to show you something to your point on what some franchises go through. Watch this. How many years has it been since the Dolphins won a playoff game? 25. It's been 25 years since the Miami Dolphins have won a playoff game. 25. Here's another one. It's been 15 years since the Jets won a playoff game. All teams looking for quarterbacks. Let's take a look at another one. It's been 10 years since the Cardinals have won a playoff game. But the Titans. I think the Titans have won a playoff game last couple of years. Let me think of another shitty team that's looking for a quarterback. Carolina. $10 years. Not that easy. But again, just for everyone else in here, I think Hurts is poised for a career year and will deserve a contract. I got a good feeling about this year. Okay? Fair enough. Sills, if you were GM of a shit team, would you be taking chances on first-round quarterbacks, or would you build your team and sign a vet? Curtis, I'll tell you exactly how I'd run my team. Like the Rams. You could take those first-round draft choices and stick them. I'm going to go get quality players, and I am going to use the draft for 2, 3, and 4 so it doesn't cost me a ton of money. And I'm going to get good talent evaluators to get me good players in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds like they've done. And I'm going to use every one of those first-rounders like they've done in the last decade plus. And I'm going to, guess what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to go get stars and players and a quarterback like Stafford. Do you actually believe that Sean McVay is that quarterback, Ty Simpson? Holy shit. That really threw me. That makes me think Ty Simpson, he got benched in the Rose Bowl. And you think that guy's the next dude? Man, Hey, that guy's supposedly a quarterback whisperer. Okay. He's 6'1". He's like 215. And you took him with the 13th pick. And I'm like, all right. I saw maybe 4 games last year where he had a stretch where you went, the kid was pretty good. Other than that, I didn't think he was very good last year. I thought he was awful in that Rose Bowl. He got benched. I mean, I'm like, not happening. Exactly, Sills. Why gamble on a loser quarterbacks who probably won't belong? Well, here, you think Julian Sayin or Arch Manning or Trinidad Chambliss or any of those guys look like guys you want to build an offense around? Man, I don't know. Let's see here. You get this. Hey, Reyes, if you were on a radio show right now, you would never even get a chance to talk to me. Because a screen caller would have put you in the toilet. And your thought process would have been nowhere. You're lucky you're here. Because if you were on a regular WIP or 97.5, the screen callers would have put you in the toilet. And you would never have gone on the air. You're lucky you're here. This guy thinks he could call a radio show and bitch at the host without getting through the screen callers and getting through the screeners. You're fucking lucky you're here. Arch is not bad. He's going to win a natty this year. Take it to the bank. Yeah. Well, that means he's got to beat my Canes, and that ain't happening. I actually like the Hurricane kid, Darian Mensah. Kid was the ACC Player of the Year last year. I think he's pretty good. Okay? I do. I think that kid's going to be pretty good, man. And I don't know, of all the guys that are coming out of the draft, that guy has the best chance to raise his stock. By the way, I'll tell you this, too. I like what Carson Beck did for Arizona. Okay? I do. I do. Arch Manning ain't shit. Dante Moore is the dude. I'm not high on that guy, too. I'm not. Not high on Dante Moore. Not happening, man. I mean, we'll see. You know what? He's got another year, and we'll see what he does. Before you close, Seals, just want to say I love watching your show. God bless. Thank you, man. Listen, it's all fun and games. Sports talk. Let's not get ourselves in a bind here. I know some of you take it real serious. It's sports talk. I mean, relax. Hey, my great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. And it is because they win. There is no firm like Morgan & Morgan on the planet that defends families like yours coast to coast. I tell you about the family in Pennsylvania that was initially offered $650K. They got nearly $30 million in settlement. Or the family that was initially offered $350K in Florida got nearly $12 million in settlement. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Love 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Love 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason the Karate Master was the #1 salesman in the lumber department.
Karate.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow, 2 to 6. Please hit the like button. Catch you on the flip side.